All right, motherfuckers. You fucking motherfuckers. Yeah, you know what fucking time it is. That's right. It's time for Validation Boy live stream. October 23rd, 2017. And shit really hit the fan this weekend, didn't it? Shit really hit the fucking fan this weekend. You know, I'm not subscribed to MGTV, but I did learn quite a bit of shit from MGTV. It's a shame that MGTV had to be such a mysterious content creator, you know, never showing their face, you know. Shout out to Shruminati. All right, before we get into the topics, let me get my first 5 in, okay? Per tradition, in at number 1, OJ McBaggins. In at number 2, Andres. In at number 3, Schlaminger. In at number 4, widely known as Justin Bernard, A Land Without Judgment. And to round out my first 5 in, the icon, They Lie, Ohio. They Lie sent me a video by ODD. I'm not really a big fan of ODD. I could tell you guys why. I'll get into that later. But let's do the whole. Let's run down the whole situation. Okay, so I'm not really subbed to MGTV. I'm not subbed to MGTV, but I've seen a lot of his shit or her shit, whoever it is. I saw MGTV documenting IPS and Jake the Fake's fucking meetup between the two of them, where they made a whole bunch of money on Super Chat. Or I don't know if he documented that, but you know, at the time he was around at the same time and interviewed, you know, Gimpy in his house or in his apartment, and you know, whatever. MGTV was good shit, you know. A lot of stuff that MGTV covered I didn't really, you know, care about. But I wasn't aware when MGTV came out with a new video. But Stargods, even though I've been watching Stargods for a long time, I never actually subscribed. But about, I'd say about a month ago, month and a half ago, I actually just went ahead and subscribed to Stargods to make sure I don't miss anything Stargods says. And Stargods mirrored a video by MGTV. And I know everybody in here already knows all this shit, but I'm just recording it for posterity. And for others who come along and want to look back at the history of this, you know, 2 years from now, whatever, or tomorrow. And so MGTV comes out with a video. And in the video, he demonstrates that a certain website, a very popular flat earth YouTube personality, a guy who had a website, a paid website, he researched through public domain information that website was registered back in 2012. Wow. Everybody's in here. Registered back in 2012. But the thing is that websites can be registered and then sold after being registered. Now, the fact is, everyone knows I have a direct line of contact with Patricia Steere. So after seeing this video that Stargods mirrored, okay, well, here's the thing. Stargods not only mirrored that video, but added a bunch of other stuff in the description of that mirrored video and painted a rather interesting picture. He was assuming that every piece of information in the original MGTV video was correct or had been researched as far as it could be researched. And on top of that, adding other links that he added an AJD, y'all know who that is, link where AJD says that he was in contact with a certain lady while she was in the process of breaking up with another guy she had started dating in the UK. Well, I already said the name. Fuck it. But oh man, I can't believe it, man. This is like, if you would have gave me this about a year ago, this situation about a year ago, this would have been a fucking gold mine. But nowadays, it's almost like it's par for the course kind of shit that goes down flat Earth. But Stargods was suggesting that AJD had been in contact with her. AJD, we all know, got in trouble. Didn't get in trouble, but was shunned by the community for allegedly sending dick pics to a bunch of women. Stargod links that guy's video. Stargod links to some other stuff that suggests some other important things. I'm not remembering right now. Doesn't matter. Man, everybody in the world is in here. Flat Earth Court's in here. Shout out to Flat Earth Court. Shout out Lee Harvey Hitler, OG McBaggins, Captain Bullshit, P. Mars, Tim Ossman. Whew. Flat Earth Bastard. A Land Without Judgment, Schlumminger. Okay. This is just so much, guys. This is just so much to process. If you want VB's spin on all of this, all of what's gone down, you're in for a show tonight, okay? It's going to be a long show. Emma Leishman's joined us. Rebel has joined us. NASA Fondles Balls has joined us and says, what's up, VB? HSP Gang. They Lie, Ohio, of course. King TL. Shrumanati. What I was thinking from watching Stargod's presentation of all this information was that this is the theory I came up with. I instinctively wanted to come up with this theory, the following theory. Adam, the guy, AJD, is sending dick pics to women. Patricia is dating dudes. Or a dude she met through Flat Earth. Mark Sargent is making videotapes in hotel rooms with girls doing odd things. It made me think all of this could be a lot less nefarious than people might be thinking. It could be something. This is what I was postulating earlier. It just might be that instead of Patricia and Mark being involved with this company who created apps for them and caring, instead of them just doing this to do, being involved with Flat Earth and that company, just be doing like data mining. But then I thought, okay, all these hookups and stuff, and then there was this whole Flat Earth singles app, I guess at one point, or a singles website or app or something, and there were a few couples that were formed from that. And I was thinking maybe it's not so much like, you know, FEMA camp fucking roundups getting our information because we're talking about Flat Earth, but more something along the lines of it was searching for, you know, potential dating partners for people. And that the fact that Patricia and Mark seem to be real lighthearted about Flat Earth itself, and that Mark's theories about the dome and simulation theory are so zany and wacky, you know, in quotes, that Patty and Mark were really just working for a company that was trying to tap into the Flat Earth and conspiracy market to try to get people onto a dating app, and using the clicks and the common videos that people watch to pair people up. And that it was just, and that the app is free for everybody. But the thing is, free apps always have ads. So there is money to be made off free apps. Just the same. It doesn't matter if an app is free to the user, free to the host, none of that. There's ads to be sold. And I thought, well, that kind of explains everything. That's why Patricia, gussies up, gets gussied up. That's why Mark flirts with her incessantly. That's why she dated Antonio. That's why Mark did the hotel room thing. That's why single people are connecting. That's why there was a dating app. I thought it all made sense to look at it that way. Cigarface is making a validation boy app for his company. Sweet. Tim says truth isn't free. Well, the truth should be free. It should be free. And that's the bigger theme here. Okay. Because I thought about it more and I was like, well, wait, who are the faces that would be out here if this were some kind of weird corporate infiltration into a YouTube niche to try to sell a hookup dating app for single people? And I thought, who are the faces that we see up there all the time? Nathan Oakley, he's not single. He just had a kid. Patricia, she was single, but then she wasn't, but now she's single. Mark Sargent always talks about how he's single and proudly single. Martin Liedtke, single. Became single after being involved with Flat Earth. Orphan Red, single. The list goes on. But the thing is that some of these people aren't. So what would be the point? And then I thought maybe by having Nathan Oakley involved, if he's part of some crazy corporate scheme, this is some, Metatron Inc.'s scheme, if it is, which I don't know. I'm just not sure. I just doubt it. I'm just not sure that they would be pulling this weird scheme to try to somehow pitch or integrate some kind of dating technology. Because in their own literature, they talk about how they do dating. Flat Earth 3 says, am I confused? Is he defending Mark and Patricia like this is all a big mistake? No, not at all. What I'm saying, Tim Ossman says that Mark Sargent is watching right now, likely beating off in the corner, thinking about the Truman Show. Oh, man. I just love the fact that everybody in this fucking room and me, all of us know everything about what's being said. And we all have our own crazy fucking theories. Lori Gale says you're way off base, VB, about the whole dating thing. But see, that's how benign it all seemed to look, I mean, you look back on some of the older dramas about shows being competed with, air times and stuff that people would go on, or people would see that someone else was on and then they would go live to try to fuck up their audience and stuff like that. Things like that have happened. Networking mistakes and miscommunications behind the scenes has happened, so much that it's too many times to count. This is all very confusing. I just don't even know where to begin with it. There's so much that can be fucking said about all of this. There's so much that can fucking be said about all this. But Flat Earth Reset says, just earlier, they said, watch, he will defend Patricia and she will be on the show. Well, she isn't on the show yet, so he was half right. Patricia's not going to come on this show. Patricia, for whatever reason, would never probably come on my show. She was on once before. But man, people just want me to expose the shit out of everybody. Okay. All right. I was thinking, guys, think about it. Okay. When I first watched the package, I was like, okay, fuck it. It looks like Mark and Patty are straight up agents working for Metatron Inc. How the fuck did they register a website, 2012 with his name? So I wrote Patricia. I said, so what's up with all this shit I'm hearing? I could fucking blow this shit up like crazy, basically is what I said to her. And she said, hold on, let me tell you some facts. And, I even asked her, I was like, well, you know, could I read some of this shit out to the audience tonight that you're telling me in these messages? And she said, go right ahead, you know. I don't know. Thunder 3 says he's starting to see a potato head. No, man. You definitely need to chill, bro. There's none of that going on, okay? You just don't understand. Reset 3, I love your channel, and I'm so glad that you're back, okay? Everything that you do is pretty much fucking amazing, okay? So there's no need to fucking get suspicious on me. You'll see how this all plays out in the end, okay? When I first saw the package, I was like, okay, fuck it. Mark and Patricia, they're fucking working for Metatron. They're collecting data on people. They're doing the dating thing, the dating site thing on the side. It's bigger than that, you know. They're here to make Flat Earth look silly, you know, by being so lighthearted and stuff. You know, basically everything that all the major shill hunters say and have been saying, and Stargods and them have been saying all along, that these people are working for the government. But see, now, is Metatron Inc. the government, or is that a private business? I don't know. The video said that there's some guy named Ralph, and that the guy Ralph registered the site, marksargent.com. I've heard people debunk that now, saying, wait a second, Mark Sargent is a popular name. Tons of people out there have their name, you know, as theirname.com, whatever it is, .com, and don't even use it, or don't even use it till years later on things. But see, the thing is that if someone would have researched further, they would have actually seen that that was purchased by some other person, registered in that name. Ownership fizzled out. It was sold to a different party. This is just too much, man. I feel like I'm being suckered in to talking about this drama, but I mean, it's the talk of the town. It's the only thing to talk about right now. We all know it. I got 59 viewers. It's blowing out my previous record, and this is probably my shittiest show so far. Okay. All the things that everyone says about them making Flat Earth look silly, them data mining us. Okay. It all made perfect sense, but the website had changed names. The website had changed ownership. Patricia basically claims that this guy, Ralph, owns tons and tons and tons of domain names, and it was just one that he randomly had. But then ODD in his video said, I mean, the chances are slim, you know, that Mark Sargent's domain was purchased 5 years before, or 2 years before Flat Earth broke it big on the internet. And it's all very, very confusing. Is Patricia telling the truth? Or is MGTV, and ODD, are they telling the truth? Or is the bigger problem here something other than this, and we have competing factions? If you notice, the top brass are usually the ones that drop the biggest bombs on each other. ODD gets involved with this group and then turns away from them, and then puts up a video about this person and then takes it down. Rebel says, you can't be serious if you think Chris Truth Seeker and Slant Antonio are telling any truth, says Rebel. Twitbit says VB is gaslighting. No, I don't give a fuck what Antonio ever says ever about anything at all, ever. Let's get that straight right off the get. CTS, barely heard much about him. Barely know anything about him. I saw that there was some fucking flat earth drama videos, like an hour-long interview with him. I sat through like the first 15 minutes. I just don't care. I don't care. I don't like his accent. But I mean, okay. Stargods presented this whole thing as though it's really just a dating thing. You know, that's what it felt like Stargods was trying to say with his compilation of the information. And like, you know, that would be kind of messed up. But what would really be hurt is people that are gung-ho about the science of flat earth. They'd be hurt if Patricia and Mark made flat earth look silly to the mainstream. For some reason, ODD and others who would be pissed at Mark and Patricia for making flat earth look stupid, for some reason, those people care what the mainstream thinks. And that's fucking bullshit. Okay? That's why I'm the flat earth conservative. Because flat earth shouldn't fucking go mainstream. Even if it was completely solved. Okay? I still wouldn't push for it to be mainstream information. Because fuck them. We can hold it close to our hearts. We can be liberated by flat earth. I don't see why everyone's, you know, oh, once it goes into the mainstream, then it's real. I mean, you fucking fucks are playing by their rules. Who cares if flat earth goes to the mainstream? And see, that's what's bullshit. And then you got all these factions, these brand names that want to make money off flat earth. Now, the only way Patricia Steere makes money off flat earth is through her ads and through any paid appearances, or if she's working for some corporation that's, you know, she's a fake flat earther and she's making money and she'll never tell us and she's a straight up show. Okay. Those are the only ways. Now, why would she tell us? I don't think we'll ever really truly know. I don't think we'll ever truly know. So that's not me defending Patricia, but that's also, it's not really me attacking, I don't think. Patricia's always been really nice to me, personally. You know, well, not always, but once I got her to talk to me, basically blasted her and got in her business and was like, you're going to need to talk to me. And since then, she's been very fucking courteous. Maybe Patricia's scared of me. No, I'm just kidding. If you're listening, Patricia, I'm just kidding with you. But Issa said it a couple times. People think I'm fucking scary or something. I don't know. Or they did. They used to. Maybe my opinion holds some weight. But anyways, I guess everybody's fucking here. I mean, like, I don't even necessarily want all this fucking crazy attention from every single person that matters in our community all at once, in this channel all at once. Whew. It's nerve-wracking. I just want to talk about the bigger issue here, which is, why the fuck is flat earth being pushed into the mainstream at all? Rebel says, you're not scary, BB. You're just a dick sometimes. Well, I think it's a little bit of both. But, okay. There's no way that anyone could really truly know. Because with Patricia Steere, there's all this fucked up circumstantial evidence. And, of course, she has an answer for every single bit of those evidences. She has answers for every single one of those things. So, I mean, sometimes it looks like personality types are magnets for attacks, you know? But on the other side of the coin, so many of the answers that Patricia has given, even answers she's given me, I've still had little bits of suspicion here and there. And I think I'll always be nice when directly communicating with Patricia. But, you know, I used to blame her for trying to sabotage me in the past, or sabotage my channel. She stopped doing that. I look like I'm a dick now doing that to her, you know, if you really think about it. Because honestly, I got my YouTube platform and it's free, and I do whatever the fuck I want on it. She has hers and it's free, and she does whatever the fuck she wants on it, you know. So if she is working for some corporation and not telling me, not telling the community, and working for this company and doesn't really believe flat earth, there's really no way for me to ever know. King TL says VB is all good and neutral. Stargods joined us and says Patricia got caught with her lies. Justin Bernard says nothing wrong with 50-50. See, and then there's the Flat Earth Conference, and there's the name brands, okay? And then there's ODD. Okay, now here's the thing. Patricia told me that MGTV is the reason ODD is not going to FEIC 2017. Okay, so you can take all that Fanny Lancer and make a fucking nice little fucking beat to it. But anyways, however, Flat Earth Reset 3 called out and predicted the fact that people would say these things before they said them. He said, Flat Earth Reset said, just watch, they're going to say ODD isn't going to the conference for some other reason, but the real reason is because what Flat Earth Reset did and really exposed ODD. And apparently, now this is straight up speculation. I don't have proof. I haven't personally done the research. I haven't personally seen the evidence. But according to Reset 3, ODD has quite a long record and quite a few incidents involved that infamous thing that he got, quote, exposed for very recently. And that also ODD was trying to register a false name to stay in the hotel. Now that's shady as fuck, bro. That shit is shady as fuck. Someone who's out there, and then there's also another guy out there who claims that first person, has this really bad, nasty record. Okay. And that he's registering false names in a hotel. And then ODD basically backs out and says, this is fucking bullshit. And I listened to his video. It didn't sound very convincing. And at the end, he was mad. So he re-uploaded his little shitty song, his little shitty fucking rap. And not because of the content, but because of the style. I'm not saying that his lyrics or anything were bad. I'm just saying, I don't know. I could go into hip hop culture and ODD's wickedness, but I'm not going to. Okay, we're not going to go there tonight. Stick with me. I'm right here. I just got to do this thing,
guys. I see you in the fucking chat saying that I'm calling Patricia. Yes, Lori Gale, this is fucking nerve-wracking. I needed a fucking cigarette. That's all I'm doing, people. You guys don't understand. Validation Boy is on your side so much more than you guys even want to admit to yourselves. Okay? I've been here fighting for the little guys this whole fucking time. You can go back and watch my first ever video, okay, with speaking video called Flat Earth Frustration. It's in my playlist. Go back and watch it. I'm talking about Jaron and Mark and Patricia on day fucking 1, guys, talking shit and being neutral and being nice all along, okay? You guys don't understand what this is all about, okay? I'm here to keep you guys, not here to keep you guys, but I'm here to try to make you guys have a good time looking at things through my eyes, the way I see everything. And to do that, I've had to fucking burn bridges. I've had to make brutal sacrifices. I've gained fans. I've lost friends in Flat Earth. Okay, so everything I do, I have to really consider it. Okay, because there's some people that I associate with that fucking despise Isa Mahalski. Okay, and most people hate Timmy's fucking guts. But guess what? I'm trying to actually build a rapport with Timmy. And I like Issa because he's cool as fuck with me. Dan Pratt, he probably doesn't agree with it. Issa probably doesn't like him. Everyone's fucking got their little factions, their little alliances. You'll understand, okay? Most of us out here are real fucking people. We'll see. Hold on, I'll be back in a minute.
You know what, people? This is nerve-wracking as fuck. And I'm not your fucking slave. And you want the drama. You want the fucking drama. Jet Skeptic Media has fucking joined us. Muscle Car Rock Lover says, VB. Oh, no. Oh, I thought he was talking about me. Flat 3 said, what kind of advice did they give you? None. None, man. Okay. So, Ralph. Okay. Everyone's saying I got a pass report. No. I talked, or not talked, but, you know, yesterday I sent the message to Patricia. What's this I hear? You know, and she wrote me back a whole bunch of information. And a lot of it kind of helped debunk some of the things that were said. But like I was saying earlier, you know, it's all still questionable. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and fucking just everything I do. Okay. I have to do carefully, you know, because, you know, I'm just going to leave that fucking segment in earlier when I was outside talking to you guys. I explained it pretty well out there. Okay. All this is going on. ODD, I guess he's given up his brand. He's not going to push Flat Earth anymore. I guess he's not making as much money off it as he should. Or maybe someone pushed him off. Maybe someone told him to buzz off. And they're the ones that are going to be making the money. And the fucked up thing is that we can't even fucking talk about people in the Flat Earth anymore, because now when you do that, all these idiots out here run and say, you're obsessed. Like, look at what people say to Stargods when he was just trying to prove points about people or trying to have his opinion about certain people. People are like, you're obsessed. I think I might have even said it a couple times in the past. But, you know, that's what happens with a conspiratorial mind. You get an idea in your head, you run with it, you research it, you start proving things about something, and you bust them. Flat Earth Reset. That's how you are. I mean, like, you got obsessed with IPS there for a long time. But that's okay. That's how it works. That's what happens. That's what it takes for people to Twit says VB is turning this around onto ODD. Now, the thing is that I never liked ODD that much. I always thought he was really lame, you know, and that his rapping, his skills sucked, you know, really. That's what I always thought. And his whole gimmick, you know, and like his whole personality. Like dudes like that, I don't know, man. I've said this before. I just don't take dudes like that very seriously. Star God says, BB, why do you look like Marlon Brando from the movie Apocalypse Now? I need that net. I need that netting, man. And those mosquitoes all over me. I need a bunch of poor third world people rowing boats down the river right outside my fucking net hut. Hey, kid. Twitter says you're becoming very transparent, BB. There's nothing. I mean, I'm just out here trying to be honest. I'm just trying to put my interpretation on everything that I'm seeing. Okay, as it stands right now, a lot of people could easily say Mark Sargent and Patricia Steere look shady as fuck right now. You know, but you know, some people out there have been able to somewhat debunk some of the claims, you know, and it's just that there's a bigger problem here, and that's money and name branding and the fact that we can't talk about each other anymore, because now people can say, oh, you know, you're slandering me and my business, you know, like shit like that, you know, and then by setting up a conference, right? Isn't that like a big loophole where they can say, well, now we have this official business venture, so anytime people say say XYZ against us, we can fucking go legal on them and like legally shut down our dissenters so that we can make money at our business. I mean, that's exactly what the fuck this whole fucking thing looks like, man. That's what it looks like the conference might have even been about all along. It's just a legal way to shut people's dissenting opinions down, because YouTube is nothing but opinions and voices. And now all these voices are getting castrated. I got castrated for fucking calling someone a fucking transgender. Or actually for asking other people's opinion if they think it's possible this person could be a transgender. I didn't even actually say the person was a fucking transgender. I didn't actually even make the fucking accusation in my video. I asked the question and said, you decide. And I still got busted for it and shit, you know? And then like MGTV, I've heard according to MGTV, he says no strikes, no nothing, boom, channel down. Okay? But from Patricia Steere and from I don't even know who else, if anyone else has even said it, but they're saying, oh, the guy had tons of community strikes and they finally got him. Now it's up to MGTV, I guess, to prove. But once your channel's shut down, you can't even access it anymore. How could he, unless he had taken screenshots of a screenshot that said, oh, you have no strikes, and then he could have got 2 strikes after that and not take. I mean, see, there's just too many fucking gray areas. Nobody really can be trusted. You know what I'm saying? You can't even really trust me. You can't trust Dan Pratt, just like he says, hey guys, don't trust me. Research it for yourself. And reset. I don't drink alcohol. I haven't in years and years and years. Okay, so I might have slightly misquoted you. Reset, about saying that ODD was trying to register a different name to stay in the hotel by. I might have misquoted you, but I thought that's what I had heard suggested through all the different videos and stuff, you know. But right now it does look shady as fuck, and it looks like it's about money, and that's the bigger problem. I came out with that fucking video a couple months ago now, merely asking questions. Are you guys tired of watching the top brass name, the top names in Flat Earth jockey for position? Are you tired of it yet? Because that's all we're seeing right now. We're seeing the top names jockey for position. You're looking at Antonio Subrats. He's taking a position. Nathan, he stayed neutral. Patricia and Mark, they're taking a position. David White's taking a position. ODD's taking a position. Has IPS taken a position? Has Reset has taken a position. Has Dan Pratt? I don't know. Will VB? Not sure. Not sure yet. I have to think my way through all of this with some fairness. Because in the end, what if we're all just a bunch of jackasses, and all along, even though certain channels were monetized, like Patricia, she really is just some fucking woman. And she's not, you know, Metatron's fucking agent and shit. What if? You know? And then on top of that, it's scary because it's like you really can't even actually directly accuse anybody of anything. Man, this fucking light sucks. You can't really say anything you really want to say anymore these days on YouTube now, because really, honestly, ever since certain fucking Mr. Fascist fuckwad showed up with his fucking idiotic methods of approach, okay, and how you should interact in a burgeoning, up-and-coming fucking nice little good community that we got going. You want to come in and fucking start begging YouTube for fucking the right to fucking hinder your fucking competitions, the way you see it, your competition's fucking speech and shit. And then the shit that you did the shit that the guy did to Reset, fucking disgusting. The things that were done to Reset. Reset had to start all these fucking channels, you know. Flat Earth Frank has joined us. Lori Gale. Lori Gale's obsessed with Dennis Sluka. I don't know who that is. But I hear that she wants to research him. it's just it's tough, guys. I mean, this is funny. MGTV, is his channel really down because of multiple strikes? Is it really down because of someone else, some other YouTube user putting a fucking YouTube hit on him? Is all this drama just being stirred up for the conference? Am I a fool for even saying that out loud? Have I been suckered into inadvertently fucking promoting something? Timmy wants in. Vlad wants in. Jed Skeptic Media says Flat Earth creating fake news. Flat Earth Bastard says MGTV is live. See? Go ahead and watch that if you guys want to. Twitwa says, is this a potato audition? I Am Face says, VB, you should win a flatty. For what? Oh, man. What should I win a flatty for? Being some fucking guy that's caught all up in the middle of this ridiculous shit. Oh, man. It's just too much to fucking handle, you know? Maybe we could blame Stargods for putting this spin on it and sending me into this fucking tailspin. Maybe I should blame Stargods. Flat Earth says, yeah, you're promoting Mark and Patricia. You might as well go to the conference. How am I promoting them, man? I mean, I've heard so many things. VB, what's your previous record? I've stated it before in past videos. It's just, you know. Jim Giraffe. No, I don't look like nobody. Jibby Jedi's over here. Yeah, Jibby Jedi says Star Gods needs serious hit pieces next. LOL. And Flat Bastard says too much goddamn high school drama. See, that's the thing though, is that I don't mind. I don't mind the drama sometimes, you know, because there's just a couple different ways you can look at it. You know, drama could be used as a tool to keep Flat Earth from really uniting. And that could be a good thing inadvertently, because united fucking fronts get holocausted, as I was saying last week. Okay? United fronts get holocausted. And fucking I don't want Flat Earth to break into the mainstream. Okay? Fuck the mainstream. Never gave a shit about them. Okay? I don't see why people are so quick and want to say, oh, the only way Flat Earth can be legitimized, you know, is in the mainstream. It's fucking stupid, you know. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add fucking Timmy and Vlad. Let me just see what's going on. I'm going to add you guys. Hold on. Hey, you in there?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm actually nominating you for a Flatty Award, man, because you have done outstanding work for the Potato Crew yet again. Congratulations.
How's that?
Because you're apologizing for it, bro. You gotta look
How
with
so?
these shows, dude. You gotta kick them while they're down, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, man.
I don't understand, bro. I was just talking about how things look very fucking suspicious right now.
Well, my whole thing is it's crazy to me that people think that it's suspicious now, because really in the conspiracy crowd coming out, being middle-aged and doing and acting as they have for the past 2 to 3 years is absolutely bizarre that people would follow them and think that they're legitimate, truthfully. We've never seen that before, man.
You're right, man. It is really a ridiculous situation. I mean, I called it out way back then. I don't know what happened, man. I just don't know, man. It's just sometimes things get debunked and shit. You know, like look at the Jason Hornsby situation with you. Everybody was fucking sure of it, dude. And then it got debunked, man. And people are so emotionally involved in this fucking shit, man.
Yeah, people still believe it too. And it's like, what does it mean at the end of the day? Well, I mean, what they wanted to do was harass me, and what I've seen from the whole flat earth crowd is not this lovey-dovey be past the peace pipe kind of shit that they do with themselves when they're in their own echo chamber. It's quite the contrary. They're actually very vicious towards anybody with the globe belief, and mostly people like me that really people that I have had questionable behavior towards. I'll have to say that I've actually squashed that with Patricia. I've squashed that with Bob. I met him in real life, shook his hand. So there's really no reason for people to be mad at me unless they are upset with me for making a better show out of Dogmatic Dell's show. I mean, seriously.
Exactly, man. Because, like, what if all along the stories that we're hearing from these top brass type characters are actually just real, true stories? What if? About their lives and stuff. I mean, like this whole registration of the website thing kind of got debunked a little bit in some ways. You know, a lot of people are not seeing the bigger picture on that particular one little thing. But I don't know who to trust, man. I don't know who to trust. I don't know where I'm getting all these different viewpoints from, and they all seem legit. You know, it's all so confusing. It's almost like it is just one huge fucking psyop, like you've been saying.
Yeah, it most certainly is. And, really what we can find now is just the agendas that they'll use from it. And really, I think a lot of it's kind of facing towards this whole fake news notion. And they're pushing a lot of this conspiracy theory a lot in people's heads. So it just seems quite odd to me that it's around the same time as the flat Earth. And yeah, these people popped up, and people like Eric Dubay, he just basically regurgitated everything from Zetetic Astronomy and other books from, flat Earth books from a long time ago. And if you ask your common flat earther, they would say that the flat earther, the Freemasons are bad, but then you ask them about how like Robotham and all these other characters. I mean, even Shaq, even today's Freemasons are coming out. And to a certain extent, I think that there is some validity in the notion that there's a lot of Freemasons in NASA. And to that extent, with that supposition, I take it that NASA is actually joking with them and doing this shit that looks fake at certain points, like their recent stuff with the dude on the string, and I don't know if they're just joking around or perpetuating it in their own little way, but the people that are cucks for this kind of information would really only be dissuaded by this information by the people that are giving them this information. So it's just it's a futile task to try to take down quote unquote NASA with possible legitimacy to part of the claim, but then you smothered in with and conflate it with the flat Earth and them hiding something, and then the message gets lost, and it just and even Electric Universe is coming out with some great stuff as of recent. The creator of the Principle, which Globebusters had played a little bit of their stuff a long time ago. Geocentrist, of course, flat or not flat earther, sphere earther, thinks that it's a psyop as well, just some old cat. Um, in his favor because it came out around the when the Principle was coming out. So there might be validity to alternate cosmology, but it's being trying to be infiltrated and smeared with this flat Earth idea.
So, I mean, like you said that geocentricity is always intermingled with like some kind of Christian thing.
I think I'm not really misspeaking, but I'm being a bit facetious in saying that. There is pretty large contingent of people that are special little snowflakes that want to be everything going around them in a God created kind of world. than there are actual hardcore scientists that do believe in it and have pitched it and have talked about it for many, many years. So yeah, it's not fully Christian backed, but I would say a pretty large contingent.
Well, I think that around 2011, 2012 was really when the meme, as you like to call it, really started actually taking hold, because I was already out there pushing for it. I had heard all these, a couple sources before that, so it was already out there, man. I mean, and then the principle came out once. The principle, when was it released? It was released.
I think it was
early?
like mid 2014, late ish 2014.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess that would be maybe right at the same time, but that it really started to actually get play on YouTube. Is that when the clues, Mark's Flat Earth Clues, came out? Right after that movie?
Yeah, he was actually, I think, around early 2015 with the clues. And Eric Dubay was like late 2014, I believe.
Well, that doesn't seem true, man, because I I lived in a different place, and that's all I used to talk about with my girl back then when we lived there. And this is way before 2014. We were already almost done talking about flat Earth with each other, because Conspiracy Dude had all that 5-part series. There was a couple other random guys out there. I had been talking about it myself. I thought that these things happened a long time before 2014.
Yeah, the correlation and causation can be kind of looked at in that, maybe it was out before then. And of course it was, because there was Matt Powerland even pitching the idea, I think, in 2008. So that is needless to say. It really is needless to say that could be looked at and could have been built upon, and then these shills could have been injected around late 2014, in my opinion. I personally knew about it before. I think around early 2014, probably because Adam A4, he was going around with all kinds of flat Earth pictures and saying it, and we were all making fun of him back then, and
Yeah.
it was not around at all. So it definitely was around before, and obviously, if we look at back through history, of course it was around, but it seems like certain characters cropped up around the same time, late 2014, and continue to push it with such vigor, and really it's kind of like very biased vigor, to where Mark Sargent doesn't talk to anybody that's a contrarian to him, basically, besides me talking to him 2 or 2.5 years ago. So Patty Steere, I can see why she doesn't know anything about the flat earth or the proves is or truths is. Let's be frank about it. I've never heard her say anything, and if she ever did, it would just be Eric Dubay's bullshit that has already been way debunked 2 years ago. I will say there's a select few flat earthers that still bring up not only relevant conversation, but new and interesting topics. And that would be mostly, Jerry and Bobby Boy. And they're the more advanced side of flat Earth, and really there's a lot of stragglers that really at the base of this is a very advanced topic. We're talking about all different types of topics like geodesy and cosmology and stuff like that. So all of this stuff, there's literally people that have been in these just one of these subjects for like 30, 40, 50 years and are still learning and are still expanding upon these ideas. So for anyone to come into it and be like, "Oh, I watched an Eric Dubay video and now I know that it's flat," I mean, it's beyond preposterous, man.
Now with geodetic, I got a couple things I want to say. With geodetic surveying, I mean, how's that supposed to work? How does it actually function? Tell me about that. Tell me what those guys actually do and how that could actually prove that Earth has curvature.
Well, this all goes back to standards of proof and evidence, because literally geodesy is the basically measuring the shape of the Earth, but not really in a sense that, oh, we're finding that it's a sphere kind of thing, but it's all kinds of elevations, and this has been done for a long time, mapping the geoid. I always bring up Clark datum, like from 1866. I mean, these guys were building this and compiling this data with basically theodolites, or there's different types, but really, there's different types of ways to do it, but it does have to do with the horizon, and it does have to do with inclination, which would be technically drop. And then there's a lot of mathematics that goes into it. And I'm the kind of person that looks into something like a book, and usually some of these subjects you can only look at the intro book to it or the practical side of it, because it's just, dude, it gets so mathematically involved and intricate. And I don't really use this equipment, but I do know that this equipment is fairly cheap. But like I said, the standards of proof and evidence for a flat earther, I've heard all kinds of things, like it's programmed into the theodolite, or it's programmed into the auto leveler, all different types. So basically, long story short is I did talk to a geodesist, I guess, Jesse Kozlowski, that has done excellent work, and I would tell people to go over there and go check him out, because he is in the field and he's actually into the flat earth subject. But he's just, the truth isn't sexy, these, and really it has to do with the crowd that we're in, the conspiracy crowd. The truth is not sexy. The conspiracy, the appeal to imagination and exploration is way, way more fun to most of these people.
It's funny that you say the truth isn't sexy, because I mean, that's kind of the same line of thinking I was on when I was looking at Stargods' presentation of this whole, latest drama thing with the registration of the website and all this stuff. And the way he was talking about it, with showing how the way Stargods presented it was just not just the MGT video. He showed that video, but then he also showed these other links at the bottom. And it was like, basically talking about Jesse Spott's talking about Mark's hotel room thing and the Breakfast Club fucking theory. And then he was talking about how Antonio and Patricia hooked up, and he was talking about how there's all these like couples type stuff, all this sex stuff and couples and everything. And I was thinking, if the truth is not sexy, what if it really is that Metatron is out there and they're not really collecting data for like nefarious fucking death camp purposes or anything, but they're collecting data so that they can try to affect people with ads and use the flat earth as some kind of a small test group to see how we are going to react to ads, and then use that information in the future when the culture shifts maybe in more of this direction or more farther away from this direction, so they know what not to use. Maybe this community is being hyped up and invested in, and that's why you get these channels like D-Marble that blow up with 20,000 subs out of nowhere, like Flat Earth Asshole blowing up out of nowhere, IPS blows up out of nowhere, all this is coming together, and they're really just kind of maybe testing and seeing what kind of ads work on people that are cross-linking, or basically looking at what people look at and matching people, and then using that information maybe for like a dating app site or something like that. I mean, is that such a far-fetched idea? And that it's really not as nefarious as people want it to be. It's really not Mark Sargent coming to, collect your data so that the government can come kill you, but more, there's some business out there. There's some corporation that wants to invest in tech, and they want to basically focus on Google searching. And then when Mark and Patty have their secret show, Mark sits there and talks about the Google searching stats, which is exactly what Metatron's whole thing is about. That's what their patent is about using search engines and how to guide them and how to data mine off of them and stuff like that. So is that a possibility, do you think, or no?
Yeah. Mapping the human psyche is actually not only big business, it's been big business for a long time. And usually it does have to do with advertising and kind of sectioning a market. And it seems like that patent does kind of focus on a certain sect of group. And of course, it does call into question things like Cass Sunstein's cognitive infiltration paper, talking about getting into conspiracy crowds and kind of basically making memes like the flat earth meme. And you know, it's not that everybody's a shill at that point. It's like literally you just give the idea out and people start shilling for you. And that's kind of my point, is that you know, that really do your research and be unbiased about this whole flat earth thing, because at the end of the day, we are all basically in this crowd against the same you know, captors, so to speak, but we get lost in the minutia that usually is just breadcrumbs that they throw out for us, and that goes for things like Vegas, that have the 32nd floor and all this shit. It's all, it's a second set of news that's right in your face for people to run with it on the other side.
So it really is just a left right kind of a thing.
Yeah, the thing is ultimately they try to control people with the science or the religion side, and they kind of give both of those to you at a young age, or try to, at least in Western society. And so they funnel you there, and then they funnel you further through the left right paradigm of the government system, the Republican or Democrat. And then they funnel you even more into these even further sects of groups. And so much so that really the whole tribalistic mind starts to take in effect, and we start to fight over things that really don't matter, and start to talk about things that really don't matter. So that's what flat earth is to me, is that them harvesting things that they can do. And it's like, oh, once we go mainstream and all this stuff, I mean, these people really have this pipe dream that one of these people are just going to come out and solve this issue for them. And it's this pipe dream that keeps being perpetuated by these people that seem to be put in place by a PR company. You know, these people are PR monkeys, right? They are going to come out with excuses for every single point of this, and their true believers are going to continue to follow them. But what they don't realize is the crowd that they're in. It does not matter when you come with evidence and proof of maybe what is true or not true. They're gonna think what they want about you, and you go look at Mark Sargent's latest video and go look at his comment section. He's gonna get torn up for this, and it's something that probably he's not gonna be able to recover for, because it is ominous. It is weird. All of his actions to me are literally what a shill would do, except that like it's too obvious. It's like, why would a shill come out and be so obvious about this? Why does this Metatron have, you know, this all over all of these apps when it's 5,000 and 1,000 downloads? I mean, it's nothing, and they're free apps. So it's not like he's getting any kind of ad revenue from people looking, oh, look at this great app, I'm going to go to this company, see if they can do something for me. So I mean, it's a weird situation. And really, when I did my research into old Marky Poo, I looked into him, and that wasn't the case back then. You know, it would be interesting actually to look at the Wayback Machine at some of those, um, so some of those entries, because it didn't used to say Metatron, and it had Mark Sargent's info only. It didn't have any of that guy's info. So I don't know what to think about this situation at this point. But one thing's clear, it's not good for Mark and Patty. This is a data mining situation here. And that is, you know, what people that, you know, I respect have said even about Patty's show, where you come on and you basically have to show your face, and you have to pretty much tell your name in the community. So I mean, that right there is already all set, and then they get really to work with you on your ideas, on your behavior towards the government and all of this stuff. And you're all of your thoughts. It doesn't matter if you give a fake name or not. Even me, I'm being data mined because of this. You know, that's even greater, to go and look at the contrarians and go look what Earth discussions, and go look at those clowns, go see what they're doing. You know, like, oh, we're effective with the atheist clown trolls over here, you know, with their ball theory or whatever, and you know, they get upset, and all of this is just it's all, and it's all on Google too. That's the trip, dude. Google is literally taking all of this information, and this conversation is probably being broken down into words and being saved in some kind of fucking huge data mine collection warehouse where it's all just being computed into whatever they want to do with it. If they want to use this huge algorithm for advertising purposes and sell it to companies, that could be one thing, or whatever. But it's clear you could easily pay a company to have a bunch of shills come out and start a meme, and it gets backed by the mainstream and more people come in, and so I don't know.
So you're saying basically that Patricia and Mark are, well, I know people say that Patricia is arrogant, when she does her kitchen tours and shows her material possessions and stuff. And Mark's not really materialistic about his stuff, but he's always talking about how he travels and he's always showing up at all these different meetups and stuff. And I was also going to talk about that. Yeah. And then, so there's these dating apps that they were pushing, and then all of a sudden they started pushing the meetups. I mean, what if it all really is just a company and not necessarily the government? Or do you think that?
Well, that doesn't. It's not a dialectic there, because really a lot of these things, like maybe say a George Soros putting $1 million or 33 million into Black Lives Matter or whatever, pays off these kind of PR companies where he has basically no liability at all for what they do. So that would be the case, in that there's an agenda that wants to be passed. There's basically a direct route already of basically shilly ass companies that will do this kind of work for you. I mean, this is obviously not true. People come out and tell people and change their lives in ways that are usually to the detriment, and people just don't care. I mean, yeah, he travels all around. Oh, I'm going to England, and she went to England, and I mean, travel, sent all of her stuff on boat, and that was probably 20 grand right there, dude. I mean, yeah, her parents died, and whatever, you got money probably. What, I don't even care. It's really not my business. But the thing is there's not an open discussion over there. There never has been, and there probably never will be. And the thing is they have a crowd, and if they want to do this kind of stuff to their crowd is the conspiracy crowd. They're gonna fucking have pitchforks come after them, and that's what's gonna happen with them, dude.
I mean, are you predicting that their time is done? I mean, that this conference is, because is it going to come down to like they either break huge at the conference and go to the next level and leave us all in the dust, or the conference happens, no big deal, they come back to YouTube and everyone hates their guts now? What's it going to be? Or is the conference going to be so amazing for the flat earthers that things just stay exactly the same way they are right now?
Look, it's hard to tell at this point. It really is. I think that the creators, the PR monkeys of this, will continue to try to push this as a relevant means of people to come and spend tons of money to go and do this. And really, John LeBon said it the best: there are no refunds on flat Earth. So people are going to probably go, or just take the hit, the $200, $150 hit. And we'll see the percentage of people that actually come. And I it's hard to say at this point, man. It really is. It's interesting that ODD dropped out. Obviously, I was thinking about inviting him, see if he has time to come and say a word, but
No, don't bring anybody else in, please.
I heard what you had to say about him, dude.
What?
Oh shit! No, dude. I think that he's pretty decent on the music. I'll have to say that he's definitely better than me. I never really dabbled in it, but he's definitely better than me, and he puts some pretty good work together. Um, but yeah, I think that maybe this is there's what, 17 days left. I think this might be stirring the pot for more attention, because they're kind of burning out, and they have been for a long time. Their numbers have been dropping, and Mark. Another thing that Mark does that's really odd.
Well, wait a
right?
second. Wait a second.
Go ahead.
If you're saying that this drama is being stirred up for the conference's sake, Well, then I'm a sucker too, because I'm the guy that's sitting here, and they got 74 people in the flat Earth community watching me talk, or watching us talk about the fucking drama. And so you're also kind of implying that Stargods and MGTV are in on it too, and that they're working with Patricia and the top brass and all those people.
Well, like the
Right?
flat Earth, people in the flat Earth don't understand that they're working for the people that they're against. So in this case, I have been argued to be a benefit to the flat Earth as they use the Timmy Osmond straw man as the basically the person to come raise their pitchfork at, and it does supposedly bring them together. But I've always fought that, and really it doesn't matter to me if people don't want to look at the evidence and want to be a part of the crowd, then they're just going to do that anyway. And with or without Timmy Osmond, I think truthfully, without Tim Osmond, dude, the flat Earth starts to implode hardcore, dude. They start tearing at each other's throats. So, so I've that's kind of why I've backed off, man. Is like let them create their divides within their own community, and the people that are in that their little communities and having to choose who I want to be with or whatever are gonna get sick of it, dude. And they're gonna finally figure out that this is not only a charlatan shill meme. It's like a weird narcissist fucking playground, dude. Because I think that Google Hangouts with this ability to go live and have people listen to you, I think that it like fills some people's egos. So they find fucking memes like basically like Antonio Subaret's. So he probably doesn't even believe in the flat earth, but he just likes the attention. Because if you really think about it, where in life can you go and talk to 100 people at one time? I mean, it is pretty cool that, you'd almost have to be in an auditorium or something speaking and giving some kind of a lecture or something. So uh, I think that it feeds some sect of people's egos, and then there's other people that have created a business. I watched ODD the other night, and I thought it was going to be some great information because one of my buddies told me it was good with Crow 777, and they're both just like talking about Patreon for the first 10 minutes and how they basically made this a career. So I'm just telling people, do not follow in their footsteps and thinking that 100,000 subs or whatever is cool and making something that isn't true into a business. It's despicable to me at this point because you lose the objectivity that you might have once had. And really at this point, YouTube is fucking cracking down on these people. And I mean, this monetization thing, these people are going to get, I don't know, man. Maybe Patreon will get a huge hit or something like that, or people will start finding a different mean to go and spread their videos. I have no idea. I'm high on that chronic. I bet you just walked away because you knew that I was gonna just fucking chat like chatty Cathy over here.
No,
But
you're
anyways, go
no,
ahead.
your sound is breaking up. Your sound is breaking up like crazy. I mean, you might have to go back on and say some of that stuff again, man. It was like breaking up bad.
Oh, tell me when I am. Am I now?
A lot better now. A lot better now.
Cool. Yeah, tell me if I am. I don't even know what I was saying, dude. I pretty much black out when I'm talking. You kind of remind me of Chris Baby Ruth Seeker, man. You kind of got that CTS going. You are muted, by the way.
No, man. No,
He's been
CTS.
going. Go ahead.
He's a big guy, man. I mean, I might have a little, old man stuff going on around rough around the edges and stuff, bro. But overall, I'm a pretty thin set dude, actually. But
Yeah, but I mean, really, you can drink that bleach, dude, and you'll be set, man. Like Chris Baby Ruseeker, he looks like he's been punched in the face and fallen downstairs and gotten hit with the doorknob like 7 times in a row, dude. But look, man, he's healthy
like,
as fuck, man. He's healthy, dude.
That's because he's British and pasty and all that, bro. That's all. Fucking Europeans, man. The sun's all weird to those people. I don't know what's with those people. They get all pasty and stuff. They got that see-through. They got that see-through skin, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I encourage people to stop or to try at least to stop taking the flat Earth so seriously, and mostly the drama that goes within it. It really shouldn't be in people's interest to have a life caring about stuff like this. It's just and it's so easy to be dragged down by these people because they know when you create this drama. That's why there's more people listening tonight. That people fucking love it, man. All of those Tiger Dan back and forths, and that's why Timothy Ossman rose. And any channel I go to, it rises because it's just like people want to see. What?
Okay. I feel like I got to beg to differ with that. You know, I feel like people should know that there's a possibility that the Earth is, you know, a flat plane. There's a possibility, and that they shouldn't run around blabbing about it to everybody. It should be a nice little secret they kind of keep near and dear and tell a select few people. Let it spread organically. Let it be something that's real. Not have companies come in and buy 20,000 subs for 6 different guys and blow them up out of nowhere that fill certain specific demographics and have shitty content and are just lame dudes. They're just lame fucking dudes. And they blow the fuck up and it's like so fucking staged. You know, leave that shit out of it. I just don't want any of that. I wish it was back to when I was watching videos in 2012, you know, and there was like 4 videos on the topic and they were few and far between and very fucking hard to find, and gems from the ancient fucking past. And I was just like, wow, my mind was blown. I was thinking about the world a different way. I went on with life. I look at life a little bit differently now. Paradigm shift. But it's nothing really that makes me any different than you. You know, we still both got to pay our bills. We still got to expend energy, get money, all that slave shit. We all die, all that stuff, bro. You know, I don't see what it really hurts anybody, but
well, it definitely hurts people. It hurts people, dude. Because
if it's going to be spread to
people,
if it's going to be spread to the masses, like, or these attempts to spread it to all these people, like has been taking place, which has been taking place, it sucks. And you're right, it does, because there's a lot of fucking stooges out there that they don't get it. They don't get it the way you're supposed to get it. Like what you've done and what I've done because of Flat Earth, the way that each of us has encountered it and confronted it and lived out the story of it, we've both done the right thing. You've done, you know, you've lived out what you were to live out by experiencing Flat Earth. You looked at it, you researched it, you decided to go against it. That's totally okay. I researched it. I like it. I have a dogmatic view. That's kind of a spiritual thing too. And I'm a true believer, like you say. I am the original Flat Earth dogmatist. And I'm not ashamed of that at all. And I also am not the kind of guy that's out here running around saying, we need to tell the whole fucking world. We need to get billboards. We need to have fake rocket launches. We need to do all this crap. I'm against all of that. I think it's an inward thing, but that it does exist and that you have the right to think about it the way you want to and believe whatever it is that you believe about it. And I think what you've done with it is great. And I think what I've done with it is great. And what everyone else has done with it is great. Because for each person, they each have the right to do what they want, right? So, I mean...
Yeah, I think you simplify my message. I think that the Flat Earth is a good mental exercise, right? It's definitely a mental exercise for maybe 5% that really get a very full meaning and fulfillment from it. And then there's like 95%, and you're the one of the 95% that, or out of your own category basically, but they fall into it dogmatically and they lose a lot of themselves in the process. And they're led around by people like Patty and Mark, and it doesn't really make sense. If people like you came out and said, hey, I believe the earth is flat and I just take a dogmatic philosophical approach on it, no one would fucking care, dude. But they came out, they pitched it as the truth. They told a bunch of people that it was the truth, and a lot of people like myself took heed to that, and tried to basically use logic. It's not like I go into math a lot. It's not like I go into complex things a lot. It's more just logic, and the logic and the evidence falls apart for the flat Earth. So they will continue to chase their tails in this psyop, this total rabbit hole. But people like you continue to go and do other things, and doesn't really affect you. You believe the Earth is flat, and pine cones or cones in the street are some kind of a hoax or whatever, and so like you don't bother anybody, and you're not out here trying to sell yourself and your Patreon and your shirt off your back and shit, dude. Like these
Conference and stuff.
people, yeah, yeah. I mean, and that begs the question. This whole conference thing, I spoke with ODD, or I didn't speak with him. I shot him an email and just said, I feel him at least for coming out if it's legit. That I mean, these people are supposedly coming on their own dime, like they're flying there. They're speaking. They're doing an engagement. They have per diem, like for food and being in a hotel. All these arrangements for this guy to make like 40 or 50 grand. This Robbie Davidson guy. And I mean that's like what? Like if you're gonna hold a conference, you always would definitely help with that kind of stuff. And the flat Earth, they came out, oh no, he's not. We're just going. It's like, okay, well, what is the benefit? What is the benefit? Is ODD going to get more subs from going to the flat Earth convention? And at this point, I would be I
Bro,
would
he's gonna
go
sell
ahead.
his amazing fucking rap music, bro. Don't you know? He's gonna break it big, bro. He's gonna be the next white rap artist, bro, that like breaks it big, dude. With the truth, bro.
Nah, he's better than both of us. But you know what? You created a very creative song, and it definitely was good about IPS. That was good.
It was a fiction. That was a completely fictional character that had nothing to do with a certain particular someone. Just as a disclaimer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
See,
Gotcha.
that's the fucking problem, man. Is that we're at that point now where fucking no one can really say anything about anybody without worrying about getting flagged or it's like
Yeah.
unless
Yeah,
unless
it's
the other person
nothing.
unless the other
The,
person is cool enough and they let shit slide and they let you put quotes in their videos and stuff and they're not a dickhead, like Dell, like you play a sample of Dell, he doesn't go and like copyright strike you or some dumb shit, and I think that that's
yeah.
fair. At least he's cool enough to not suck up to Google and YouTube and like taking like why the fuck would you want to take your source material away from you? Why would you want to take your opposition and silence them? Because then you have nothing. I mean, then you have nothing to go against. I don't
Yeah,
get why
most of
people
these
would
people
would bet.
don't have content anymore, so like contrarians definitely help. That's why they have shows. Oh, Globers, come on, because for example, Dogmatic Dell, he has like Merle on, which is some dude that lives in the attic or whatever, his mom's attic, and then he's got a few other people that are like Scottish that are barely like intelligible, and all they come on is just they come on and blow smoke up his ass how he's doing such a great job. And I he's got like a cult like following at this point, and some of these people do. I'm sure that Mark Sargent is probably shilling on the radio right now or something. He's got quite the cult following, and it's very interesting to look around this crowd, how they take this so seriously. They take this drama so seriously. I am entertained. Okay, this is entertainment to me. I don't get dragged in the actual drama of the situations. And then you look at the age of these people. Like most of them are like 40, 50s, So I just I didn't this crowd is so bizarre to me. I don't get it. And I've never seen in the conspiracy crowd anyone come out like Patricia did and Mark Sargent did and then go and do radio shows about a specific idea and have a script for years. I mean, at this point, if Mark Sargent says that if he says Truman Show one more time, I'm gonna fill up a sock full of coins, okay? And I'm gonna bop him on the head, dude, because I'm tired of it, man.
There's no need to make vicious, violent threats of violence and shit, bro. I know you're just joking, but I mean, like, disclaimer right now. But
no, I'm serious.
Oh man, no, okay. But no, like you said, it's such a bizarre crowd, right? So I mean, Google just info fucking data mining, just looking at our psychology, looking at what people like us are looking at, you know, you being one of them, seeing where attention is going, seeing what kind of keywords are selling, you know.
Yeah, these companies, these huge monoliths like Google, they get paid by advertisers. So first off, when people say that, oh, this is like Nazi Germany or whatever, YouTube, it's like, dude, they're literally getting paid by those advertisers that put their ads on your conspiracy videos. Like I guess there's something going on where some of these advertisers getting pissed about some of these things. Like I was getting vegan dog food or cat food or something on Patty Steers. It's like, oh, then people go to, fucking, I don't know, man. But people have the right to do whatever they want, but they do need to go and make their own website, and at this point, with this fake news and this shutdown of channels and stuff, they really do need to get off this platform. It's definitely good. I mean, all of this bandwidth, the bandwidth amount, the exabytes of fucking bandwidth from Flat Earth, just useless fucking bandwidth being used on a daily basis by Flat Earth, man, for free, dude. All you have to do is create an account, man. Come on in. Tell us all your fucking secrets, dude. Tell us about Candy Franklin. Tell us about what her actions are and if she's smoking crack or not. Like, I already told you, man. Once I met her, dude, I could tell she was playing with her hair, man. Crackhead. But anyway,
damn, I didn't know that. That's crazy, bro.
No, there's definitely some uppers going on there, man. Holy shit.
Stimulants
anyway,
and whatnot.
She's milking Vinny dry, but not in the good way. Not in the way that most men enjoy. It's actually the way that most women enjoy more. And that's the problem. Is that women actually
You want to go there? Okay.
Yeah, dude, I do want to go there. But another time. This is a Flat Earth only chat, and we are really about Flat Earth cohesion here. I personally pitched the Flat Earth cohesion movement, and VB pitches let's be conservative about what we think we know. And you know what? I think they're both respectable positions, because mine is facetious and it's just filled with satire, but his is equally so. I mean, come on, dude. How can you believe in the Flat Earth at this point, dude? Wow. Validation Goyam.
Did I just? Oh, you there, right? Okay.
Oh, okay, there you are.
Yeah, no, I was switching back over. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You were in the middle of a sweet little rant.
Yeah, I was ranting, dude, and raving. I don't even know, man.
It's all good, man. Like, Stargods gave me major props, and he was like, Validation Boy lets his enemies into the chat and all this stuff. And it's not that I'm letting enemies in. I'm just letting everybody in. I don't even know if I have any real enemies. I don't know why anyone could be an enemy of mine exactly, unless I've attacked them specifically. But
well, you kind of did. You called me a little bitch or whatever, and it just the other show right before it came on.
I did.
Yeah. You and whoever Issa maybe was talking. Yeah, you said maybe I bowed down to Dell or something like that. I forget.
Oh yeah, I talk shit about you when you're not here, bro.
Yeah, dude.
But I don't.
No, it's all
But I
good.
don't want it to be like that.
I
But
actually like Stargods, but I'm also critical of Stargods, and maybe he doesn't understand that, but and a lot of people don't understand that about me, is that I'm critical of even my friends. I'm not like, oh hey fam, coming in fam. Oh, you called that guy a pedophile. Oh, you're my fam. You know, you lied about making a song, and okay fam. You know, like I'm not like that, man. I call people out. I'm not fake, man. And that's what a lot of these puts a lot of people off, is they don't understand how fucking real I am, dude. I have no filter. I have absolutely no filter because I don't like political correctness. People like to call me a racist and all this kind of stuff. I actually am not racist at all. But you know, that's kind of like their defense mechanism is either to kick you, ban you, squelch you, call you a racist, go into some kind of a victimization mode, go into you've victored over them so many times, or whatever. Like the psychology of this whole movement that has been brought by this flat earth sophism Psy-Op Trojan horse meme is absolutely intriguing, and that's what keeps Timmy Osmond around, truthfully.
I mean, it's hard to go away. I mean, do you think that maybe the whole geocentric thing came about because flat Earth maybe was, it inching towards something that was true, and then they're like, well, big science's answer was like, no, it's geocentric, but it's still a sphere. I mean, that kind of makes sense because,
No,
you know,
no, geocentric has
no,
been talked about for hundreds of years, hundreds and hundreds of years, if not
I guess so. I
thousands.
guess it's right. I
Actually,
guess it's
they
just like
used to think it was they before they knew it was, well, before they quote unquote knew from Copernicus and the heliocentric model. It was a sphere that was geocentric. So, I mean, from the observer, you can take a very easy philosophical approach and say that you're the center of the universe either way. Even if it's geocentric or heliocentric, if you're going around the sun, or if all of the sun and all the planets are going around us, it doesn't really matter because the universe is still basically geocentric from where our observation is. So it's still miraculous, man. Everything, really, cosmology and really life in general is absolutely miraculous. And getting into the minutia of flat Earth is beyond boring at this point, because the people that want to believe it will continue to believe it or not. And really, the point is they're not going to do anything but perpetrate this meme or this possible psyop, or whatever the intent is of whoever put this out here. But um, I mean, it showed me a lot about the quote unquote conspiracy crowd and how much they actually knew. It really made me a lot more mainstream when the flat Earth came and hit me, because I then kind of found out that there are people on here that are literally either purposely telling you these things and lying about it, or they have convinced themselves of it and they're perpetrating it. But either way, the information is bad. It's disinfo and misinfo. And we used to take that pretty seriously when we would unbiasedly look at situations and, oh, that's a crisis actor, or, this is fake video or whatever. It was a little more unbiased. But ever since that fucking plane crash, man, that Trans-Asia plane crash or whatever,
that did it.
that created a divide. And then people went down these fucking, deep inside little rabbit's holes, like David Weiss. And they're lost, man. They're not gonna come back. And I call this the Pete Shea effect. Pete Shea is either the proest troll or the most conspiratarded individual that has ever walked this spherical earth. It's quite amazing to watch that individual interact with people that are basically just studying his psyche, as opposed to watching him for any truthful information possible. I mean, it's all just gobbledygook, but it's interesting gobbledygook.
So, I mean, if someone were out, if you met someone in an airport and you got on the subject of flat Earth with them, and they said, well, I really am looking to it, and you decided, this is a pretty cool person, and you had to recommend them a flat Earth channel, and let's just say, or let's just say you were a fan of flat Earth, what would you say are some of the best channels?
At this point, that's actually a good question, because my instinct would want to say Globebusters because they have more advanced subjects, but I feel that their biased comprehension and their comprehension level and their intellectual dishonesty at this point is something that you shouldn't turn anyone on to, really. So I'm very conflicted on that whole thing. But it sure as hell wouldn't be Bro Sanchez or Patricia Steere or Dredd if it was to get them any kind of relevant information on the topic. If I was to talk to them about the drama, I would probably go with that. But there used to be more people, like Matrix Decode. He found the curve and he quit, and people stopped watching his shit. And there's been a few that have come out and just dropped that were actually good. My Perspective would have been a good one, where it's going over information a little unbiasedly. But at this point, the flat Earth is a cesspit of conspiratarded dogmatists at a level that the internet and really the human race has probably never seen. To fall into this trap is astonishing in 2014, 2017, 2000 even. It is, did NASA maybe fake the moon landing? Possibly. Did our satellites possibly something else? Maybe, possibly. Does that equal a flat Earth? Absolutely not. There's observations that we can do that seem to be contrary and seem to corroborate the spherical model. And so it's just like, I don't know, man. The game is already over because it never began. It's just a game to those that are making money off of it, and really a drama cesspit for those that find, I guess, refuge in the drama filled shill movement.
Yeah. Makes you wonder if Jeff C was a plant all along, right? That because what Jeff C did back then was just so ridiculous. It was like him and Red Pill had always been jockeying for position, and people actually liked Red Pill because he was fucking just way cooler than Jeff C. And Jeff C was really jealous of him, if you remember all this. And so when they got to be about the same size or relatively the same stature, the plane thing happened, and Red Pill pointed out, basically the truth on it. And then Jeff C, just to see who was loyal to his channel, literally just only to see who was loyal to his channel, he took the mainstream standpoint, even though it was obvious that he couldn't or shouldn't. And that caused that major divide. And once everything was splintered, Flat Earth did seep right in and pick up all the pieces, and everybody ended up either in the Flat Earth thing or over on the PK hoax side and never touching Flat Earth. And then it started to cross over. But maybe Jeff C is responsible for an earlier stage of this operation.
Geez, Jeff C. Well, at a certain extent, I guess I would agree. He definitely was very dramatic. He definitely psychologically projects, kind of like Dogmatic Doe. And he definitely created a divide. And yeah, I do remember that. I remember it just like yesterday. I still try to find that one video where him and I think Robert J. Morris and Jeff C. and Red Pill were talking, and it was just an absolute shit show. And he's like, "I thought we were best friends," and he like almost started crying about it. And yeah, and then Red Pill was like on the fence about flat Earth just coming out talking about like NASA and stuff, and so yeah, that created a huge divide. But Jeff C is the type that if you cross him and he feels crossed in any way, he'll basically never talk to you. I talked to him one time when I was in San Diego. I talked to him for like 2.5 hours, and he was just, "Everyone's a shill. Mark Sargent's a shill. Patty Steere, Mr. Thrive and Survive, blah blah blah. It's like, no, dude, I don't think everybody's a shill, man. I think that this, the idea can be perpetrated by people that really do believe it. No, man, these people are shills, dude. So for 2 hours, I talked to him about that, and basically, then I came out with a video that had been uploaded by I think Celery Agent, and it was Jeff C and some Muppets basically, and it was him talking and going on and on, being dramatic, and it was just Muppets. He's like, I thought we were friends. So well, yeah, he's never talked to me ever again. And really, I haven't ever been back there because that was a learning experience in and of itself. Where Jeff C, this all goes back to the standards of proof and standards of evidence. I mean, Jeff C was, oh, look at the sunset, and it is a good evidence for the spherical Earth, but he's just like, oh, look, it's proof, and these people that come out are just garbage. Press reset Earth, and all these people, they do not know the finer points of it, and that's kind of part of the facade of the flat Earth, in that you go around and pretend you have enough knowledge about the spherical Earth to stump people that don't remember basically or are ignorant in the subject. And then you get them thinking about fucking flat water and all this shit, and they're like, "Oh, I've never really thought of that." So then they walk off like the victor. So it's all this trickery, and you never see any of these people. This all started with me talking to Mark Sargent and saying, "Hey, dude, I had a um, astrophysicist lined up, and he didn't he didn't respond to me. Basically, I was sending him emails and all this kind of stuff, and then the guy basically backed out. So finally, that's why I called Mark Sargent like 2.5 years ago, and yeah, so basically that's what I'm saying is like this whole conspiracy crowd with the whole moon landing thing kind of got off track with this flat Earth uh, jargon, and needless to say that there are breakthroughs in alternate cosmology right now, and it's not coming from the flat Earth. All of this drama and Antonio Subarats and what Glowbusters and old Jerry are doing is not actually anything productive. It's nothing to prove anything as far as flat Earth. There are actually people looking into electric universe, looking into proving geocentricity, things like this, but none of them think that it's a fucking flat Earth. They all are sphere earthers, dude. There's concavers. There's like 100 left maybe, but there's like nothing else, man. Everybody believes it's a sphere, and they have good reason to.
How much does electric universe interplay with simulation theory? And also, give me 5 seconds. Just answer. I'm literally running to the room right next to me for 5 seconds. Just answer that question for me, if you would, man. Like, how
Yeah.
much does EU play into simulation theory exactly, or from what you understand?
Well, truthfully, nothing at all. Um, Electric universe is basically a different explanation for deep and interstellar space, being a lot of it being um, the way that light travels. And so, simulation theory, I really truthfully haven't, I can't even say that I've looked into any kind of simulation theory besides what Ronnie and Jason are pushing over at the Yeshigui Central. Um, so I've never really taken any accordance to it, but I'm not really sure. I'm sure that it is one of part of the alternate cosmologies, but there's only a few that are actually being thoroughly researched right now that have any credibility. And of course, that is heliocentricity, geocentricity, and electric universe. I really don't think maybe someone in the chat can say that there's anything even close as far as alternate cosmologies being talked about these days.
I'm
Or
not even
so
sure.
is religion. Go
I'm not
ahead.
even sure. I'm not even sure simulation theory would even be a cosmology per se. I mean, it would explain away cosmology in general, if
Well,
anything.
no, because look, anything involving simulation literally can be anything, virtually anything. So it
That's what I'm
could
saying.
simulation could be a geocentric Earth. It could be a heliocentric Earth. It could be stars with billions of miles away. It could be this. It could be that. It could be a dome with the celestial sphere. all of this stuff, but it's just all conjecture, and some people are trying to fit the pieces together at a very, very high level, and I'm not. Like I have no hands-on experience with doing any of that, but you can, study as much as you can and see and try to disseminate, the information for yourself. But like I said, all of these alternate cosmologies that are being pushed are all spherical, and you know, it's a trivial pursuit. Flat Earth is. It's a trivial pursuit filled with games and clown shows and flatty awards and charlatan conventions, and it's just going to continue as long as the revenue is flowing. That's all that this is hinged on. If these people that have created a business out of it were done with the drama, done with all of it, and decided to go get a regular job, it would fucking faceplant. But they don't. They come out with new red herrings, new video of fucking, space cadets that have, orange or gold fucking scuba divers, like all this bullshit. Oh, look, a bubble. I mean, Jesus criminy. And so it's an endless rabbit hole. And they continue, they're like, oh, maybe next year we'll figure some stuff out. It's like, but we know it's flat, man. We know it's not fucking sphere, dude.
See, there wasn't much money to be made in the beginning of this, but it's been built up and built up and built up, and there's just been so much time and energy and maybe frankly even money invested into making Flat Earth into a brand name for certain group of like 5 to 10 individuals out there that literally have like name branding the fucking Flat Earth. So that's what scares me a lot of the times. That's one of the main reasons why I would even consider maybe taking on the idea that Flat Earth might be a false idea. Because like I always say, like I don't care about the science of things. I don't even trust that. I don't even trust the physical world sometimes. So it's hard for me to say anything. But that's a whole different topic, man. Sorry.
Well, with your whole tangibility requirement, right? You're not going to know pretty much anything in life unless you basically go titty fuck it. So I don't know what to tell you about what you know, but there are observations that can be made. And if one really looks into it seriously, and really logically too, this whole logic thing really helps in that there is this, it would have to be a ridiculously massive conspiracy. Now, I understand on the conspiracy side that most people in the mainstream cuckery will say, oh, millions of people would have to be on it. Well, no, Bob the Builder, he's putting this part in for JPL or whatever. No, not everybody would have to know. They don't know shit, really, a lot of them. They don't know the finer points of all this stuff. So it could be possible, but some things are just not possible to me, like the two celestial points. This is a solid evidence. The sun setting, moon rising, the ecliptic, everything that has to do with the spherical model not only corroborates itself with empirical fucking observations, but it is intrinsically, and it has been intrinsically true to basically the masses of people. And yeah, maybe they were indoctrinated to it, but does that needlessly say that all indoctrination is falsehood? I don't believe that to be true. I think that you might be able to be indoctrinated to a certain set of truths. So I don't believe that this conspiracy not only stands on any credibility from the people, but the evidence is lacking, and the evidence is actually contrary. It's coming out every day by people like Soundly and LK and others that take interest in this subject and try to show people that, yeah, you're saying, where is the curvature? Well, you know what? Here's some curvature. Oh, that's fake. Okay, well, you know what? Hey, we'll go here and we'll try some curvature over here. Oh, no, that's fake, or that's wind resistance or atmospheric conditions or swells or waves. At a certain point, people would just be like, okay, well, look, we see different things here. Look, you have an explanation for why the sun sets, why there seems to be curvature, why there's obstruction due to curvature, what the sphere earthers say. and you say it's something else, well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? This fucking idea of trying to explain away observation for the flat Earth is just that. It's just that. It's just to prove the narrative to the individual, and they can continue to live like that and be, basically militant towards governmental agencies. But at the end of the day, they will be the ones that are chasing their tails till kingdom come. And so, maybe people will look back at this in a few years and say, hey, this was an absolute garbage waste of time, and no truth or any change have come from it. So if people get a philosophical, for lack of a better term, boner, by the flat Earth idea, then by all means continue to believe in it. But for the people that are in the real world that can show you evidence and tell you evidence all day, I think that they're just not going to care anymore when people are continued to be dragged around by what look like fucking shills. It's just ridiculous.
I got a question for you. Let's say this conversation was taking place 5 years ago, and you already knew everything now, and you already knew it then. Everything you know now, you already knew it then. And I was the way I am now, and this was back then. And there was only like 10 of us. Do you think that your attitude towards flat earthers would be anything like it is today?
I think my attitude towards flat earthers has ever refined in that I used to be much more
well, maybe
aggressive.
not towards flat earthers per se, but towards the flat earth meme.
Well, my whole point with this whole thing is how it's pitched. It's pitched as the truth. It's pitched as we need to go and take down governments. We need to go take down NASA instead of, hey, let's take our explorative little artistic minds and go see if what they're telling us is true. Maybe it's something else. Maybe there is more land. Hey, let's live in dreamland. That would have been much better. But it was the delivery. It was just the pathetic delivery of saying it's the truth and continuing to have to drone on and on and on. It's the truth, and we got to do globe busters on Sunday every fucking day and say, the globe's debunked, and with fucking Snorgile and shit. It's just it's becoming all monotone. It's becoming to where not only is it an echo chamber, but nobody can really have an opinion or a point of view, and it's becoming its own kind of cult like Nazi socialist regime where you get characters like IPS that come in hot, boy, and then just drop off like a sack of absolute garbage potatoes into his own realm of flat earth network or whatever, whoever shilly person he wants to work with. Sorry, but when I watched a guy come out and have information, and unfortunate for him, he didn't realize that you can't come out 6 hours a day, 12 hours a day for weeks at a time and continue to have content. So he used to be heard. He used to have 330, almost 400 people watching. He was fucking red hot. And then he turned into this troll meme weirdo where this whole Fepe penguin thing got attached to flat earth and is, being pushed in all these kinds of memes, and you see it everywhere in the flat earth, and it's all this marketing ploy, this marketing tactic that he has. But you know what? As far as his channel goes, it's fucking ransacked. It's done. It's dead. And he can try to do whatever he wants, but look, his tactics are just pathetic and fail as fuck when it comes to anybody that had any kind of fucking virtuous request or inquiry about this subject. And anybody that wants to be turned into a troll did and continues to be a little Fepe troll, but others were serious about this conversation. And, all of these different things happen, man. It's just, I really wish that I could compile all my thoughts sometime and write a book about it, but I just know that I would be upset with myself because I would leave so much out that I just can't think of, man. It's been so long, and you've watched these people grow, you know, like fucking plants, and certain
Change.
rise to the top.
Well, change, not well. You mean grow like to the top? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, grow in
Well,
size.
they
Yeah,
also changed, yeah. They also changed. I mean, a lot of their, I mean, Mark Sargent's a fucking robot, dude. If you think that you're gonna get anything besides movie references or his script or analytics about flat Earth, you're fucking out of luck, dude. You're not gonna get anything else out of that guy, man. So, you know, and then Patty, poor Patty. I mean, look, sometimes a pretty face comes with consequences, and it seems to have kind of happened there, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe she's a fucking secret fucking agent. I don't know. Maybe she is a girl with a gun. I don't fucking know, dude. And truthfully, I never thought to think that. I really never thought that. Okay, and I still was against it. And I like, truthfully, I watched Antonio Subras the other day, right? And he
yeah.
said something that really got under my skin, dude. Like, really hit home with me. How she's so, like, blatant about being a female. How she's always got different dresses on and all of this stuff, super girly. Like, for some reason that hit me. That was the only thing he's ever said that had any relevance at all in my mind. And I'm not saying at all that I still think and believe it to be true, but look, man, they're getting better at that shit. And you know, you're gonna be having to look. You're gonna have to be getting fucking social security cards. You're gonna be checking Adam's apples. You're gonna be looking at IDs. I mean, before you know, engage with people.
It's disturbing, bro.
Seriously, man. I mean, look, and I must say this, dude. I said it in the chat, and you said it earlier. He called me a fag or something earlier, and I'm just like, dude, you are the one that admittedly had sex with a man. You say that you have sex with a man, right, on multiple occasions, an inverted penis, right, a shaft. So, like, you know, these people are just walking hypocrisies, and then the people that follow them create this. It just creates a crowd of, literally, a mob mentality crowd of flat earthers, dude. They will throw sticks and stones at anybody that doesn't believe it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I in the beginning, I was shocked when I heard that Antonio and Patricia hooked up. I swear to God, I thought Antonio was straight up gay. Like he was like shamelessly, openly gay. That's what I assumed. So when I heard that, I was like, "What, Antonio?" I honestly, for real, thought that. I mean, whatever, teach their own. But I was surprised. Um, and then he says all that about Patricia, and then just like you said, yeah. Then it's like, me and my girl were talking about it. I was like, yeah, he keeps saying that Patty's a tranny. He's coming out all hard on this shit. She's like, well, then doesn't that make him the tranny fucker and all this shit? And I was like, whoa, you know, right?
Yeah, I don't think he thought that one all the way through, truthfully.
Right?
Yeah, and really, that, you know, who knows? Maybe that's part of the agenda, man. The trans agenda, dude. We got Brenda in here on the atheist side. We got fucking cow Patty Steere on the fucking other flat earth side or whatever. Who knows, man? These people are crafty as fuck, but I just don't believe it, dude. You know, I've been tricked before, and maybe I'm a fool, but I really think that old Patty Steere's a female. Oh, but I did want to say that somebody brought up in the chat that they think that I'm a potato or something, or I'm a gatekeeper for the potato squad. I think Flat Earth Reset says that. And
Reset he's got misdirected hostilities sometimes, but I still love him, but he's got misdirected hostilities sometimes. But anyways, go on.
no, I just other people share that sentiment, and I kind of question that. Like, Muscle Car Rock Lover and shit, and that person has so many different bizarre conspiracy theories that there's like, how the fuck would you even know that, dude? But Yeah, I don't understand where that comes from, unless they're going off that whole argument that I was talking about how my contrarianism towards their meme is actually beneficial towards them, because I don't really know when Flat Earth Reset came around, but I had a show, Flat Earth and Other Psy-Op Potatoes, with old Eddie Boy and Adam Moyer, like over 2 years ago, right? And I called out Patricia Steere from day one. I was nasty with her, so I don't really know. I was that was the original thing that flat earthers were upset with me about. Is just trolling Patty Steere and Mark Sargent and shit. So maybe they're going off that, but it's just I've had all these conspiracies made up about me, and it just completely further and further pushes me to the mainstream, bro. It's like this is literally a online mental asylum for all the conspiratards to go and start calling people trannies and saying that everything's a fucking hoax. And I mean, it's literally at a certain point, I'm like, you know what? Maybe YouTube's doing the right thing, because this is like where mental illness goes to breed. You know what I'm saying?
You, no, you can't really believe that though, man. I mean, like, think about it. When you get down in these rabbit holes of thought, and you start thinking, damn, like there might be alternative cosmology that really is really what's going on. And maybe, conspiracy X, Y, and Z are true, and trannies and all that. And you start seeing trannies and you start realizing, damn, a lot of these TV stars really do honestly for real look like they might be trannies. And it starts blowing your mind and shit. And then you go down other rabbit holes, and a lot of shit starts to look really true. And you end up, bordering onto quasi-luminous level, but it
You end up
happens.
cutting yourself.
Well, I hope people don't ever go that fucking far. But I mean, a lot of it, once you're in these rabbit holes, there's really no way out. I don't see how you think that you can go back to the mainstream so quickly, bro. I mean, you come all the way down here with the rest of us. I mean, what, do you think you're going to be
There's
able to?
things that I find as irrefutable irrefutably proven in my mind. One being the Boston Hoaxathon bombing, one being the official story of the 9/11, and so on and so on. And of course, geoengineering is real, and maybe there's things to question. What I saw some trees burning from the inside and stuff. I mean, that's interesting. Definitely look at that kind of stuff. This also goes to freedom of speech, of course. I definitely am more libertarian in that sense, where I believe that people do have the right to fucking say what they want. But there's always these nuances. There's always these gray lines. Like, okay, well, then you can have terrorists on. Say if ISIS was real, right? Terrorists recruiting on YouTube, right? Well, they should be against that, right? Well, kids cutting themselves from Quasi-Luminous's message. We should probably not go down that route. We probably should maybe do something about that, And then you get
Uh,
to where it becomes a mental asylum and an echo chamber for really poor behavior on an individual level.
people
So
that
I don't know.
people that get hooked up in the quasi-luminous cutting thing, they, I guess what you're really supposed to do is just basically barely prick yourself or something like that. You're not supposed to like gash your fucking carotid artery open and make a blood sacrifice, some shit. It's like you pick your finger and then you drop a drop of blood or something. It's not supposed to be like extreme mutilation or anything, but still the fact that you're cutting yourself it's horrible, and there's spiritual implications to that. But on that other side of the coin, they're saying that it is something spiritual, and that's why they shouldn't have their freedom of speech be castrated like that, So I mean, there's freedom of speech to be argued even on Quasi-Luminous's fans' side, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even the subject of, a pinprick's okay, but you know what? A 2-inch gash is not going to be okay. You get into this fucking bureaucratic, governmental kind of shit where you almost have to, because you say, oh yeah, freedom of speech, everybody, just come on, say whatever you want to. And then, like I said, it can devolve into situations that may need some attention. I don't know what I would recommend in this situation, truthfully, besides a fucking personal counselor on every individual level that really has taken this on and doesn't really have a life outside of it. They've shunned out their real life to go on to and be a flat earther. And at that point, there is psychological repercussions, in my opinion. There has been for me, even really.
Yeah,
There's been so much.
Because don't you feel like you're kind of trapped watching all the same stuff that I'm watching, basically?
In a way, yeah. In a way, yeah. It still interests me for some reason. It still interests me for some reason. And there's so many other things that used to be more about like self help and building businesses and stuff. But once I found the flat Earth, I don't know. There's something that drove me to try to help people figure it out for themselves. And it's like I've said before, I can't prove anything to you. I can show you evidence to lead you to prove it to yourself. And that's the issue here is no amount of evidence to a flat earth dogmatist or a true believer is going to sway them in any way. And they've done it to themselves. And they're the only people that can get themselves out of it. And hopefully, more and more evidence stacking up and maybe hopefully, maybe one of these charlatans resigns and says, hey, I figured out that there's more evidence that the earth is a sphere. Like if Jaron did that tomorrow, it would be very interesting to see the reaction from the flat earth community against him. Oh, he's a shill. Oh, he got bought out. Oh, this, whatever.
Do you think, yeah. But do you think flat earth dogmatism is some form of escapism?
Yeah, absolutely. Flat Earth is a non. I mean, it's a psychedelic basically. It is messing with not only flat earthers, but people like myself, serotonin and dopamine, quite a bit, like on a molecular level, dude. I remember when I first got into flat Earth, it was like me. It was like when I was a kid, I used to play video games a lot, and I could stay up for days and play video games. Like I wouldn't even get tired. So this is like another feeling that I had like video games where like I wouldn't get tired. I would just be interested in watching old Marky Boy's next clue that was coming out. I gotta rip this bowl.
Me too.
Nice, man. You need like a little reggae break, dude, where you just push a button and a little like some soft reggae comes on that won't get you copyright strikes or anything. Seriously, just be like a smoke sesh, dude. I definitely need one.
It usually takes place after long blacked out cigarette breaks that annoy the shit out of my viewing audience. But when I go and when I black out and have a cigarette, people think that they're just like, oh, the teacher's gone, and the chat gets even crazier during that blacked out part. It's funny.
Oh, whoops. Yeah. I think I have a little bit of resin in this bowl. Sometimes when you rip like a pretty large bowl on top, like the resin will light up. Damn.
So
Got them.
go ahead.
Now go ahead. I was going to say I got them black lungs.
Do you do the whole grinding and keefing thing?
Woo. No, I don't. I don't. Um, I think that I have people that I sell to actually that love that, man. And I always recommend to them the only thing that I would like key for would be to make some what's called caviar. And it's basically take a dank ass bud, you roll it in some kind of warm oil, not super super hot, but warm oil. And then you roll it in keef. So the keef doesn't make the oil all sticky when you actually grab it, but it's like a dank ball, dude. It's like a fucking dank ball. So you just stick it in the pipe and smoke it. And basically you get super blitz, but um yeah, I'm not much into that because I think that it messes with the integrity of the whole smoking process. And that definitely includes just taking the bud out and just getting your fingers and just smashing it into a bowl. Like not like a noob would do where they just take a whole bud and stick it into the bowl and then just like lights on one side, just a terrible bowl. But like, yeah, you wanna get it get it a little ground up, man. Definitely. Definitely.
You got to pick it
But
apart with your hand a little bit at least, right?
yeah, I think
Because
that, I mean, the whole point of smoking the bud really is the resin. And when you're taking half the resin out of it to get keef, it's like you're smoking more chlorophyll, or like I just, it doesn't compute with me really.
you're saying like kind of like the way the digestive system works. It's like better to eat certain foods together, or if you break up a certain type of food before you eat it, it like ruins the integrity or the purpose of eating that food in the first place.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because actually at the chemistry level, there is a plant that literally is giving a winter reaction basically, and it grows this defense mechanism that we can, obviously get high off of. And part of that is that it's like it's the plant, man. It's everything that it's given to you, nothing taken away. And there's 26, I think, or more terpenes that all have different effects. So there's a certain percentage of, THCA, there's a certain percentage of THCB, maybe CBDG, maybe some other ones that have different psychoactive effects. So I think at the end of the day, it's nice to just keep it how she grew and not take away from it, basically.
yeah, but then when you do it that way, I find that the resin builds up really quick.
Bro, I smoke I smoke dank buds, but you know what? I'll clean out a pipe and smoke resin, dude. That's how big of a smoker I am because I do not care, dude. Like it resin gets me higher than smoking some dank 26% buds sometimes because I have access to that bud all day long. So like at a certain point I don't get high off it anymore. So if I smoke some resin too, I'm like, damn, man, I'll get blitzed, man. It's weird.
Yeah, but it's like kind of it could be a painful blitz sometimes, and you could sometimes pay the price for it and have to take a midday nap because it hits you so hard. You get a headache from it because it's like you get
The
super
headache.
fucking ripped. I mean, you get
Yeah,
super.
sometimes headache.
Yeah, but it's like you got to be well prepared and like eat some good fruit before, or like juice or something, and have plenty of water and stuff
I
like
think it's
that.
water.
And
Yeah.
sleep, you got to be well rested and shit if you want to like rip resin and like try to just whoa, because it'll knock you on your ass, bro. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because there's been times in the past where it's been rough nights. It's like, oh my guy, he ain't there or whatever, and so time to scrape, get it all
Oh
out,
yeah.
get your pipe clean, and then you got this big ass ball. And you're like, all right, now you try to like hopefully maybe let it dry out a little bit, or like
Yeah, dude.
yeah, and then I try to like chip away at it and stuff and put it in there. And it's that black powder of death and shit, bro. And you just like,
No, man, that's a gift from the gods at that point, dude. When I call it down to the blacks, when I don't have any bud, which doesn't happen very frequently, I'm down to the blacks, and I'm totally fine with that. As long as I got them blacks, I'm okay. But man, I go into a different mode when I don't smoke for about 2 or 3 days. It's just like I don't know.
what do you mean you get like a better attitude or a shittier attitude?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I make excuses for myself because I'm probably an addict. Well, I'm definitely an addict, but um, I guess anything that I would say would be an excuse, and I don't try to lie to myself or anyone.
Well, it's crazy. Like alcohol and the addiction, that's the real thing. But it can be argued that weed really isn't addictive per se, but there is the whole emotional addiction, and that's really where a lot of people get messed up. And it's like
Just like the
it's
flat
about.
Earth, man. Look, you brought it up earlier, the escapism aspect of it. When you have issues in your life, or you're bored and you eat, or you smoke weed, or you do anything besides anything that's positive, um, the net effect is bad on the psyche level, in my opinion. It's dependency. You get dependent on that next high, or going and smoking more, or a cigarette, or whatever it may be. And we are creatures of habit, and it's unfortunate, but the real strife in life is to basically do the right thing for yourself. Um, don't get stuck in those habits, and get habitual about things that profit you and your loved ones. And that's not only monetarily in this regime that we live in, but it's also physically and mentally. And a lot of people get lost on those three things.
Well, physically always ends up coming down to monetarily, or time. There was this fucking crazy website back in the day. I don't know. My friend showed it to me. DJ Hives or something like that. You ever heard of that? Probably not. No, okay. It was a really weird fucking website and shit. It doesn't exist anymore. And it was some guy, and he was talking about like the moon watchers. This is like 08, 07. He's talking about the moon watcher of the ancient past, and how the moon watcher knew when all the eclipses would come, and he would pass it down to his sons, and they were the people that ended up becoming like the pharaohs and stuff, and the leaders of the world and shit, because they knew the secrets that the people didn't know, because the people didn't stay up all night like they did watching and stalking, and then that's what all the problems all come down to, is the ancient moon watcher fucking breed and shit. It was just fun. It was just fun stuff to watch.
Max Malone's in the chat. Hey, Max Malone. You know what, Max? Shout out to Max Malone. He is saying I'm droning on. Yeah, I absolutely am droning on. We're two high people having a conversation, and you are here because of your own volition. But hey, great work. I think that me and you and some of the old school truthers, if you don't remember, I was on your last live show before you kind of quit or whatever, dancing with I'm 11 or 9/11 was an inside job shirt on three different panel cameras. And I think that a lot of the truthers come to this kind of realization that the knowledge that we are getting, the things that we are breaking down are given to us. And that's kind of what really made it evident for maybe Max here in this possible false flag that's happened here, is that all of this 32nd floor, maybe the 33rd if you count the basement, all of these different things where it's like there's conspiracy theories compiled on, but really the official story is coming out as part of this conspiracy theory. So really we can't know anything about this. What we can do is basically look at the agenda and try to, make people aware about the agendas that are happening, the possible one world government movement that's happening right now. And I think that me and Max actually agree on tons of things. But the difference with me and Max is he's looking through the, what I would say, goggles of the Christianity, which I have no problem with that. That's totally cool. But every other word is basically dealing with that supposition as being his truth, and that's great, man. I talked to a truth shall set you free. He's a cool dude. Christianity saved him, and I really like anything that makes anybody a better person. Why the fuck would I care at all? I always had a good kind of mentality towards Christians, in that they are on average much better people than the atheist crowd, and I've kind of come to find that out. But I've also come to find out that the conspiracy crowd is rife with Christianity for some reason. For some reason, a lot of Christian folk go with a lot of these conspiracies, like the flat Earth. And the Bible was brought into it, and of course, it can be debated if it's a flat Earth book, and that will catch that sect of people off guard, and they'll fall into that rabbit hole and get lost in the flat Earth. But as far as the objectivity for Max Malone, I stopped watching him for like a year or two. Kind of actually started in this Vegas thing. The objectivity level, I think, is like a huge like explanation point went off in his head about this whole thing, and it did me too. And I've kind of come to this realization over a while, is that not only are we cognitive infiltrated by these people, um, every piece of information that we're dealing with is from them. And so we're disseminating the information that they're giving us. So, oh, it's a hoax because the 32nd floor, or because this video, or the muzzle flashes, or whatever. Like, there's really no way to know at the end of the day unless you were there and you were part of that and you saw people get shot in the face, like some people are saying. So, he kind of started the meme on the auto hoaxery throughout the truthers, and I've been calling for that for a long time. Like, a lot of the conspiracy crowd looked up to people like Russian vids, where everything was tied with the Illuminati or Christianity, or look at my calculator that you put everything in and it says 33. Like, people were looking into that, and those people rose to the top, and it's always these people that rise to the top. These people that go ahead.
What happened to Russian? What happened to Russian vids?
He pieced out, man. I think he faced some issues on the home front.
I know he was always talking about how he had been courted by mainstream movie producers and stuff like that.
I don't know. Yeah, he's some Russian dude in California, San Francisco. He's a religious nut, is what I would call him. A lot of his shit was just absolute garbage, But the thing is it's all about the dissemination level. I can go and watch Dave J and Max Malone, get more out of Max Malone, but sometimes these people that look into things in a way different way are right. Sometimes these new Cokes or Jungle Surfer people are right. It's all about dissemination. You can't follow one person and be like, oh, he's got the absolute truth. You got to sit back, watch the show that they put on, look into some of the things that they say, and actually disseminate it for yourself. And that's what a lot of these people fall victim to, is just being the herd mentality, falling into the crowd and start saying, oh, I'm going to fight for IPS. So I'm going to start fighting for Patty Steere or whatever. And it's all about the cup of tea. It's not about objectivity. It's this fam. Oh, we're family. No, you're not. You're supposed to be researchers, independent researchers, people that are unbiased, looking not to make everything a hoax, but to figure out the truth of the matter. And a lot of people got lost in it. I would say 95% of this crowd is lost. And you know what? They think that they're awake and everybody else is the sheep. Well, they're just the second form of sheep that the fucking mainstream want you, the evil doers or whatever, want you to be in. They want you to be in either crowd, not the people that are actually looking into things objectively.
So
and,
are you lumping in flat Earth and geocentric and all of their big major conspiracies into this one other second half of a false dichotomy then?
Well, no, I mean, really, if the heliocentric model would be the conspiracy at that point, if geocentricity or electric universe or whatever is actually true. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a conspiracy gets conflated because, of course, in the near Kennedy, they completely just demonize the word, which a lot of people still go around and say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, or oh, whatever, and it just completely neglects any kind of information that you say. But I mean, literally, there's conspiracies every fucking day. People conspire. You can prospire. You can conspire. I mean, it happens every day. But there's also other people that make theories upon theories upon theories and get fucking lost in rabbit holes. And I'm the one saying, hey, I don't think it was electric weapons. I don't think it was, planned explosives or anything like that. But hey, let's look at it objectively and say, look at Building 7. This is the first day ever recorded that basically 38 steel columns completely collapsed virtually at the same time due to fire. Right? I mean, this is an interesting factoid. This is truth. This isn't something like, hey, no one died on 9/11, research 9/11. So that's kind of the point, is that people need to take a more objective tact when they go and talk to people about this. If this is even the fucking objective, if we want to go and wake people up, well, god damn it, have some fucking correct information. Be objective about it.
See, the fact is, the way I heard about Flat Earth, whoever did it showed leadership. He didn't put his face on his documentary. He talked and talked. He put a lot of work into it. He really felt like it was something to be looked at. He didn't declare for sure. He's at the end. He says, "I'm not claiming this is absolute truth. I still don't know, but that's why this discussion should stay open or should be opened or whatever." And I felt like it was honest back then, and that it was real leadership. Now, what's considered leadership in this flat earth scene is what's considered virtuous is prospering and hey, monetizing and hey, putting on shows and conferences and getting paid to do this, making appearances here, having meetups here, being the star guest speaker of this, being the fucking guest of honor at this place, coming to my dinner of this, I'm prepaying for this, and you're all invited. And who's buying fucking plane tickets and all that shit? And those are virtues. Those are honesty. Those are
virtues in flat earth is
no, that's what I'm saying.
That's
also ironically
yeah,
now,
yeah.
it's like that's why I'm so fucking disappointed. That's why I'm so like, come on, let's be more conservative about this. I don't want anyone to be famous. I don't want anybody making any fucking money.
No.
This.
It's also subcount though. It's subcount. Like literally, not only have
because
flat earthers traded the white coats in for flat earth scientists, but they've traded all of the celebrity in from the mainstream for people in fucking flat earth. Like there are people that I've talked to that are openly saying that these people are like celebrities to them. I'm pretty sure Issa said it when we just talked the other day. Like these people in their mind are celebrities. I mean, that's part of the problem. That's part of the disenfranchisement. There are select flat earthers that are like, fuck this shit, like fuck all this potato and flatty awards and all this stuff. Let's actually get to the meat of this. And that's probably why a lot of there's so many flat earthers that are on the sidelines. Like I get a lot of flat earthers that come on and listen to me, but I never get any fucking messages from them. And I think that there are some that there's too many that have dropped out, and we do have Patty Steere. Patty Steere in the chat. She was asking about, is there any evidence for ODD booking a hotel room with fake information? Do you know anything about that?
Booking a hotel room, what? What was the question?
Booking a hotel room with fake credentials, fake name. Did you say that?
No, I thought maybe I was mistaken, but I thought Reset had implied that in his video and that others had been making that was a rumor, basically. And that I said openly in the beginning, I said that's total speculation. But yeah, I was just reporting what's being said. That's all.
Yeah, I think Flat Earth Reset's out there making a bunch of shit up, truthfully. I don't know what that guy's about. I've never heard him talk about flat earth or anything like that, except the whole drama aspect of it or looking into people. I really think there are a few people in this that are like kind of narcissistically just fucking with people. Like they're not even flat earthers. I mean, this guy comes on, he just seems like he's putting on an act. Like he's just got some spare time. He's an old dude. He's like, you know what? He found the flat earth one day and he's just like, I'm gonna start causing some shit. I'm gonna start stirring some shit. That's basically how I got up. Let's just say like any channel that I created, there was no progression of a few subs, blah blah blah. Like I would go in and post my links to flat earthers in a way that I knew that they would come and actually watch, right? So but yeah, there's definitely some interesting people in this chat tonight. I think that a lot of people are interested in hearing this whole hubbub about flat Earth and other hot potatoes and Mark Sargent being shills, and I just question them. This is not new. This is nothing new. I'm sorry. This is not new information. These people have been shilling for the flat Earth meme, regardless, for several years now. Okay, and they are not open to talk about it to other people that have different opinions, and people are blocked and banned and squelched completely in the comment section. It's not a truth movement. Okay, people get nasty because you block and ban them. All right, and not every troll in people's chats is Timothy Ossman. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of trolls now that fucking come in with nasty names and troll people. It's not me. I don't do it anymore. So continue to point your fingers at me, but I've grown up as well in this whole experience, and I've really noticed that people like IPS in the chat and people that pitch flat Earth memes for years and years are bigger trolls than I would ever aspire to be. Okay, it doesn't matter if you call yourself a troll or not. You people are trolling people. Okay, blatantly on the IPS side, obviously in the chat, always coming in being this weird attention seeking troll. But there are other people that are pushing something that is false and continue to, and are just leading people on at the end of the day. And I think they're fucking trolls. I think that everybody in their chats are trolls. And I'm basically the only one that's not a troll now.
It's all reversed now. It's literally gone full fucking circle and shit now, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Man, but how do you define a fucking troll though, bro? I mean, like, you know, you were a troll and then I came on the scene and I talked a lot of shit and I tried to out troll you, you know. And you know, it's still not clear who's the winner on that. But either way, you and me are both like champion fucking trolls. So people out here saying that you and me, anyone that's out here that could say someone with small enough channels as your channels and my channel, okay, that we are somehow operating for any of these top names is got to be one of the most fucking retarded things of all times. We were grazing on this subject earlier. I don't want your input on it, you know, but like, it's just so funny when, because like Muscle Car Rock Lover accused me of some dumb shit once, and I've been accused by Ronnie of dumb shit, but everyone's been accused by Ronnie. But like, you know, fucking everyone gets it. Everyone gets assumptions. I mean, what's your take on that?
What was the question? I was rolling a spliffy.
I know. I don't even know if I even asked a fucking question.
You didn't. I don't think you did, dude.
I know, bro. Well, what I was trying to get at is like, you know, oh yeah, you know, fucking Ronnie, Ronnie fucking tossing about and shit, you know.
So I guess to put things in perspective, you can look at those two individuals and you can say these two individuals have found the truth, the true name of God, that would be Yeshagui, and the true nature of reality, which is a simulation, flat earth, weird clown show. And so they really do believe this. These two people, they hold the truth, right? And so then you expand that into the flat earth. And these people believe that they have and hold the truths of reality. And really, like Max Malone is pretty much saying in the chat, we are puppets with little puppet strings doing exactly what they want us to do. Oh, YouTube shut down a channel or what? I mean, it's all contrived into this and led us into this. And it's harder for people to wake up from that than it is from 9/11 being an inside job or maybe another conspiracy. It's harder for people that fall into all these rabbit holes and then figure out like really epistemologically, like how do I really know that no kids died on Sandy Hook? You know, I mean, these are questions that should be raised again, and were raised again by myself due to these memes that have popped up, and me kind of getting more attuned to works like Cast Unseen, Cognitive Infiltration, and works. Tons of people have talked about how to change and direct people in certain ways. So, like I said before, you don't need 1,000 flat earth shills. You need like 3 to pop up, pitch the idea, and get more people that pitch the idea for them. And that's basically what Max is saying. That's I mean I know he's a flat earther, but he's just saying that's basically what happens. These ideas get perpetrated through the conspiracy meme, and really that goes to question, like, I mean, even the atheists, they know what they know through the channels that they get their information through. Everybody is getting their information. There's no text you can read and be like, oh, I know the exoteric meanings and you don't know it because I have this secret book. It's like, dude, these fucking books are all out there. You know, that doesn't mean shit at all. You know a lot about the Bible or a fairy tale. I mean, it's just that's I don't know.
Well, I was also trying to get at how people out here actually in this troll community have the nerve to accuse you, people like Jed, people like me, of being fucking shills or like actually working for someone or defending the potatoes. People have been in here saying that you're like a top potato agent now. Like Andres was saying, you're like the number one potato agent now.
Well, yeah, it's basically like what I was just saying. That these ideas, some fucking moronic cult follower or whatever comes up with an idea that I'm, say, some person that I'm not, and then a bunch of people fall onto that. Some people like Bob actually put money into getting a criminal background check on this person, and they tell their followers to call this person's work and all of this kind of stuff. So th- this whole mentality is really a disease, mentally, for people.
But
There's
I gotta
nothing really there's nothing really good here, dude.
but I gotta call you out, man, because you were the king. You're the one who started the doxing, and then you're the one who started the sniping. You know, you've made it on this guerrilla warfare level of like hate and shit, and like you've added so much drama to that guerrilla warfare stuff that you've done to, basically brutalize the flat Earth community. Isn't that true?
Well, I guess I've maybe brutalized them enough to brutalize from within, and that's most important for these people to basically start creating divisions from within. And that's kind of what I was saying, facetiously, I guess you could say, when I was sitting out by the ocean writing down all these names. Oh, this person doesn't like this person now, and all this kind of stuff. Just it's satire, but it's somewhat true on a level where you start creating these divisions, and that's why the flat Earth dips and lulls. And once there's a lull, people like Shaq will come out or some other clown start talking about it for like a week, and then you'll get a whole nother "you've been exposed" crowd. And I mean, it's just yeah, it really degrades the conversation. But
It'll be like
uh,
Miley Cyrus or something will like come out and say she's a flat earther or some shit next.
yeah, and it's so contradictory to their message in that the mainstream is so full of shit, blah blah blah. Well, we got to get the word out, and kind of understand that to a certain degree, but they're like, it's misdirected hostility when it's like, hey guys, let's go back to square one. Let's learn about the spherical model. Let's learn about what is quote unquote wrong with it. And then let's actually do experimentation to see and corroborate if that to be that is the case. And truthfully, taking this standpoint of it's flat, let's prove it's flat, and watching the sun on equinoxes and trying to map it out on a flat Earth map, that is not science. That's You're trying to fill in reality with a flat Earth, and it's all about these faulty suppositions. Having a faulty supposition, well, water doesn't curve, therefore the Earth is flat. Well, let's try to figure out everything else. Now I don't know where the fuck I am. Now I don't know who I am. All of this stuff because of this one supposition, and for that person. But some people have other stuff, and they were convinced. They were convinced at a very, very deep level, very visceral level for these people, that they really have a feeling towards NASA. And when you look at it, it's a damn shame if NASA is doing all of this. If NASA is really doing this, this is the greatest of humanity. Humanity actually can come together, create satellites that do all of this stuff so that we can have chats and we can do all this. And yeah, leave the intricate stuff to the professionals, because obviously whatever they're doing for us, it's advancing and it's accelerating. And it seems to be mostly, I guess, for Western people, for the good. And so, they also have no perspective about how the rest of the world lives. Like, these first world problems would not be a problem in the third world. when you're looking for fucking food, you don't care about the shape of the earth. You don't care about what NASA is putting out as photography. This is a joke. This is total first world problems.
Well, the thing about flat Earth and the concept, and even going down related rabbit holes like geocentricity or moon landing hoaxes or any of that stuff, 9/11, is that it's completely, it comes down to the fact that we're alive, and that there may or may not be an afterlife and stuff like that, and like all the implications of the magic of actual existence and everything. So it always intrinsically becomes this spiritual thing. And I think that's really, for Max Malone at least, I can probably say that that's the line in the sand. I mean, it's
Well,
an
that's why I called it.
Hold up, real quick. Flat Earth really is just like, it comes down to an existential thing, and that's why when people come to Flat Earth, like you said, you're like, I don't know where I am anymore. That's how people react. I don't know where I am. I don't know who I am. But that can be argued that that's like a really good thing, because then it opens you to the realization that, life is, it's magical and everything, and how are you alive and everything, and then there must be a creator, and it's like a spiritual thing for a lot of people. And that may be one of the one things that Mark Sargent might be right about, is that you can't be flat Earth and not be spiritual. I think it truly is in there, and that's why my dogmatist conservative attitude, I feel, is the most intellectually honest position for me myself to take, and I put myself out on the line and say that, just to be fair.
First off, that's why I called it the flat Earth jihad Trojan horse. Jihad meaning a holy war. Trojan horse meaning obviously what it means, but sophism and meme and all that kind of stuff comes into it as well. But it is at a certain extent a holy war for people because of that fact. A lot of people have been disenfranchised by religion, organized religion, stuff like that. They come and are pitched the idea that the flat earth has something to do with the creator, as opposed to the sphere model that does not in any way have anything to do with the creator. And so then they have this supposition, and they go into a religious belief. And not all religious belief is bad or is good. So for people to fall in love with an idea and have a religious feeling, a philosophical accord to it, I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing. But I think that overall, with what I've seen in the flat Earth community, it's negative, and not only negative, it comes with frustrations that are unnecessary to the normal human being. And I think that it should be really, people should awaken to this and say, you know what, let's step back just a little bit. Let's not really care about Antonio Subrats or whatever, or these shills memeing out. But there's something to be said, I think, about the truth not being free, and really the cost of truth. Um, you know, Going back to Jeff C, he was all about, oh, I'm never having money and whatever. Then I hear not too long ago, a couple months ago, that he like let people on his panel that would pay $20 or whatever. So then I look at the flat Earth meme, and all of the top people that are pushing it, all of them, except Beyond the Imaginary Curve, that have any kind of following or subs or whatever, are pushing many ways to pay them. They're pushing shirts and all of this kind of stuff. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's an observation of mine.
It is
And
a thing.
then, yeah, it is. It is something that you can observe. It's on their page. It's out in the open. They say sometimes that they've lost houses. They've been homeless because of flat Earth. Some straight up tell you it's a business, and that they've quit their job, or they don't work anymore, and they're just doing flat Earth. And it's like it's going to be just ancient aliens and Nibiru and people that believe it. But I don't think that, like, there's a difference between flat Earth, because there's this militant idea that becomes a part of these people, and that they have to go and not only proselytize, but also go and take down regimes of governments and NASA and all of this stuff. And like I said, it's just
with billboards,
misguided.
with billboards and fucking rocket launches, bro. Don't you know?
Yeah, lead the way with billboards and rocket launches and trolling. I mean, just troll memes, dude. Like, hey, the flat Earth is the truth. Now I'm just gonna troll in chats. Like, I mean,
Don't
it's
it?
like this guy's 3 years older than me, or like four. So I have no idea, but it's like some of these people, man.
Don't even
That
stop there, bro. Don't even stop there. You got to go get other channels like shut down and shit, bro. Fuck all that.
Well, yeah, that was a pathetic thing, and for him to go to the extent of saying and calling YouTube and saying that he was a transgender and all of this stuff is open dishonesty. It's open mischievous actions towards someone that has been in the flat earth longer than he. So I don't really believe that he is justified in that action, and I don't believe that he tried to reverse it in any way either. So what it comes down to is you just had 3 months and whatever. But yeah, it was unjust. It was unfair, and it shows that he's just kind of a coward. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
honestly, I'm not. I'm totally even done with the guy. That's all good. Like he can go to his Flat Earth Network. He can have his own shows now. I don't really have any problem with him. I served this little sentence. What I did, maybe it was over. Maybe it did cross some kind of line or something. And then I got my fucking fix. I made a song. People liked the song. Um, I feel it's all done. The summer of transvestigation is over. It's no big deal. We could water under the fucking bridge. I don't even care because now he's fucking basically a small timer agent compared to the other top names, if you really think about it. So if anything, he's just Johnny Come Lately. If they are all fucking agents, then he's just Johnny Come Lately and he's just a new guy. Or, they all could be individual fucking um, you know, individuals that are just each out there trying to fucking make money their own way. So they're trying to throw stones at each other, and they're trying to use us little small channels to fucking do their biddings. And we're all getting played. And it is fucking 8D chess, like you were talking about the other night.
Yeah, there's charlatan meme pushers, there's shills, and there's true believers. Okay, you got dogmatic Dell. He's a true believer. He's not asking for money. All right. You got you got charlatan meme pushers. Right. That's gonna be IPS. He's gonna get thousands of dollars for some flat Earth tattoo on some rocket that never does anything. That logo probably. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it, but and then there's literally narcissists like Antonio Subarets that will take the money, but it's not ultimately about the money. It's more about the following. It's more about the attention that he receives. That's very important. So what we are seeing is, yes, a battle from within, and there are shills that are just gonna just push the meme because they have a job. They're PR monkeys, and then yeah, they're kind of just all in it together. And it's interesting. Hopefully, ODD will stay with this time because he did have that song about Patty and the clowns before. But I mean, I as much as I want to see it burn to the ground from within, I do want to see it continue. But I would love for it to continue in a different way, a more objective way, in that it's not being pushed as the truth. It's more about going out and doing observations, doing experiments, and yeah, of course, talking about conspiracy with like-minded people. That's a great thing. Everybody everybody in this crowd really does need that. They need to
Now
go and
what
vent. They need to go and hear it or talk it themselves. Good.
now what happens if people do go out and do the experiments and they, biased or not, they find it to be a flat earth? I mean, are you gonna be you're going to have a more appreciative attitude towards someone like that? Or, it comes down to this also. It's like, that you could be a flat earth believer and push for science and use experiments and say that you have proofs. Or you could be someone like me who just openly admits that no scientific experiment either way is going to prove either side. Therefore, taking a neutral position, I'm going to default to position X, or whatever.
Yeah, it all goes as standards of evidence and standards of proof. Everybody's different. Some people can see a NASA picture and say, "Okay, that's good for me. The Earth is a sphere."
Yeah.
But for others, they're gonna just nitpick it until they get shut up in a rocket. And the thing about what your question was, it's kind of loaded, but I'll answer it on the base of it first. in that I would love for the evidence to come out that is contrary. And I would say if it was strong enough to contradict the spherical model, and things were to be represented, our reality was represented on a flat earth something, I would appreciate it more. And I would be one in the fucking dirt, in the muck, in the mire, pushing for more intelligent people to come out, more intellectual thought, and stuff like that. But the second part is, I don't see that to be ever true or the case, because the amount of evidence for the flat earth that would need to come out would be staggering, because what is already here for the spherical earth, you can't just have one piece of flat earth evidence and be like, oh, okay, now it's flat earth. As much as I know and I've experienced myself, it would only call into more questions, and those questions might lead to further inquiry. But at the end of the day, for me, it's very clear what it is, and it would be very tough for the amount of evidence necessary to be swayed, truthfully. Did you get sniped again?
No, I'm here with you. The amount, the amount that it would take is what? The amount that it would take is like for you
It's
to.
staggering. It's staggering because we have evidence that corroborates the sphere, with video evidence. So if flat earthers came out with evidence for the flat Earth, there would have to be a lot of it, for it to actually counteract the spherical model, or just the evidence for the sphere. I mean, there's two celestial points. That thing is really, really hard to explain on a flat Earth, if not impossible. I couldn't do it. Nobody. I've tried to bring it up to every flat earther that I've ever talked to, and they've never said anything. The one person that has ever said anything interesting on that was somebody that had like 5, 10 subs that now has thousands. Some Asian guy that talks about flat Earth and the Bible and stuff. And he said that there's like a celestial ball that goes and travels like with the nighttime around the south, hemiplane, as Snorgar would put it. But yeah, so I mean,
So
it's interesting.
two
I was appreciative for him to
two
say that.
so like two spirals overhead of a flat plane.
No, like think of a ball that has the celestial sphere, half portion of the southern hemisphere, and it just rolls around basically, with darkness. So all of the southern hemisphere countries would see the same thing depending on, it being dark. But I actually plan to do an experiment myself next year. I want to go to, see the eclipse
Wait,
in South
a
America. Go ahead.
okay, a giant mirror ball, a dark mirror ball that reflects the sky.
Well, it's kind of just a concept. It's a concept in. It's a concept. That's all it is. There's no explanation besides the concept, which the concept is better than I've ever heard from any flat earther, because it's impossible. It's a mind warper if you really think about it. But that, it doesn't exactly work, but it's just something interesting that's much more intriguing than anything I've ever heard.
What about Rob Skiba's recent argument about lack of parallax in any of the stars, really, or in the difference between where the north and the south, two things meet and interplay with each other when looking at it from over.
Well, I think it's hilarious, really, any flat earther that talks about cosmology, because cosmology 101, astronomy rather, is literally that there are two celestial points, and how the celestial sphere works. It's called the celestial sphere because of the observations made on the Earth in accordance with the latitude and longitude system. So it's like when they're making observations and saying, well, this doesn't work. I mean, it's like, well, dude, unfortunately, if that were to be the case, you would just be proving a spherical geocentric model. It doesn't prove the flat Earth, and that's why I say that they bring up these red herrings, these nitpicky things about NASA, or deep space or intergalactic space. They just say that because really intrinsically the subject is the shape of the earth and the evidences we can provide in that, and what we can do to go and corroborate that. That's all that anyone can provide on Google Hangouts. And so, these people think that they're victors because, people come on and they didn't quote unquote prove the sphere earth to them. Well, it's like, you need to go and prove that to yourself. You need to go and do unbiased research. Don't just sit here and be a muppet for the flat earth.
Okay, so there's people out here in the audience and maybe in the future watching this back that will want to know, okay, what's Timothy Ossman's stance on a spiritual level concerning flat earth versus geocentric sphere earth? I mean, do you feel that regardless of the shape, if it were flat or if it were a sphere, heliocentric or geocentric, that intrinsically either way there still has to be a creator?
Well, that's a very subjective thing, and for
I
me,
know it's really a
it's
question directly to you. Yeah.
yeah, it's something that I really haven't really formed any kind of opinion on, truthfully. But I do lean towards the intricacies not only in the universe but the earth and our bodies and other animals and life cycles and photosynthesis and all of these different things. Um, at a certain point, you kind of do the dialectic and say, is it more plausible that this kind of happened due to all of these gravitational forces in billions of years? And we just happen to be like really right there near the sun perfectly. If we were, this much further, this much closer, it would not sustain life, and all of these different things where it's like it's set up to be more plausible that something much greater than ourselves have put us here. The reason is probably the quest for life, for everybody's life, but again, that's very subjective. So, yeah, I think it's more plausible that there's a creator than just the physical world creating such intricate art and beauty, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
amazing.
Well, would you ever hinge any of your arguments, or maybe even hinge a belief that the Earth is a globe, on the suggestion that said creator could create magical forces in our Earth, or at least our observable realm, what we can observe, no matter how high up we can go, that basically are inexplicable, such as gravity and pressure and density and all these things that we constantly argue about? Could it all just be like the magic, basically of the creator? Not the magic, but the beauty of
Well,
the
this is what
creator.
I have with a problem with objective truths, is because the only way I can describe what I think to be objectively true would be with words, which are, basically representations and ideas for a language that is created by man. So that would basically have the presupposition that man's language can objectively explain the intricacies of the universe. I think that what we do explain is just that, it's just an explanation. Just like you can say the sun setting is evidence for a sphere earther. Well, a flat earther will say, well, it's just getting off into the distance, and then it gets obstructed from bottom up for some reason. It doesn't change in angular size. So this is what it is we're using language to explain things. And what was the original question? I was getting to it.
I was basically talking about the spirituality. It doesn't matter what shape it is. It really just comes down to the creator, I
Yeah,
think.
I mean, man, the flat Earth, like I said, the idea can bring certain people into different paradigms and different axioms, and for the most part, I find it the detriment to the active viewers and chatters. All right, but I'm sure there's some fucking hippies there, man. just smoking some joints and being like, like I'm at peace with the flat earth, and they just hold it as a belief, and they're conservative like you pitch now. And for that, it's like, who cares if a tribe or an individual believes that the earth is flat? It doesn't matter. People people have to be believing in false things every single day. There's no way that everybody could be believing in the same thing, or believing in truth all collectively, because everybody believes in different things, in different gods and texts and whatever. So I don't I like the more philosophical approach, and I wish that it would be pushed as that. But it's been 2 or 3 years now, and there are people like Eric Dubay and others that just pitch it as the objective truth, as if it's just intrinsically true, it's intuitively true, because you go to the horizon and it looks flat, therefore it's a flat Earth. I mean, so
Yeah.
it's all very subjective at the end of the day.
Yeah, you could go full blown Max Malone and say that this whole realm belongs to Satan, right?
Yeah, see, and that's why I made that distinction, is that, we've come to the same mindset with different axioms and paradigms. Like, I don't hold that Christianity belief, and I don't call people Satanists. I don't believe that it's a world of evil and all of this stuff, because I actually do find a lot of good. I do find a lot of Christians that are doing good, and they live in this evil world and all of this stuff. So we came to this kind of understanding, very similar understanding, I believe. Personally, I'm not speaking for him, but we came to it with completely different paradigms, and it's very interesting. But like I said before, his suppositions lead him into believing that the Earth is a realm that is, Satan's realm, and all these people are Satanists eating babies and all this stuff, which I don't think there's any evidence for. Truthfully, I don't know if he actually believes in that portion, but I think there's a lot of, like I said before, Christianity kind of backed conspiracy theory, and they kind of, I don't know if it could be even from the elites. Like, they've been pushing atheism for a long time, and maybe they want everybody to be atheist. So they could be making it to where, like, oh, Christians are crazy. Either they're proselytizing to me, or they're talking to me about conspiracy theories, and it caused that's a quite a divide within the great debate. Like, the atheist mind is, they're usually the rational materialist, and they'll believe a lot of the mainstream stuff. Then you have the Christian person that believes in the Bible and believes in a lot of these conspiracy theories. So I mean, they're literally polar opposites, and you get them together, and they try to make their arguments better. They go and they study philosophy, and they go and try to act smarter than the other person, and be more profound than the other. And it's funny, because really, you can look at it as, oh, that's crazy that they're debating, or maybe it's vicious, or whatever. But at the end of the day, these people are learning a lot about philosophy and all these different things. So it's like the flat Earth. I just inherently learned a bunch about the sphere Earth. I learned a lot about why flat earthers believe it's flat. I learned a lot about the sociological and psychological aspects of the flat Earth. So it's interesting. The idea seems to have been pitched and continues to be pitched by people, but it's changed my life in a probably a beneficial way, and I promote that. I hope that people can learn more about their surroundings from this topic, and not get stuck in the dogma trap, basically.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you feel like it's unfair for me to even take this stance of dogmatist, spiritually just believing in this idea, and that's okay. I mean, you have your right to do that. I can't blame anybody for that. But I mean, I'm sure that you consider my viewpoint, that particular viewpoint, to be something that's actually rather fringe, and not even something that would maybe even be detrimental to the, masses.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know that part of you is a facade, so I'm acting as if I believe what you're actually saying. But the conservative dogmatist of flat Earth, I would have, like I said before, I would have no problem with. That's not. I have problem with people that make something that seems to be a lie a business and pitch it as truth. I was a quote unquote truther, and I've come out and said, hey, these people are fishy, and this evidence is incorrect, and a lot of people hate me for it, but someday they will understand that Timmy Osmond is not an agent of the Patty Steere or shill Sargent kind. I'm actually an agent of truth. And once they figure out that the Earth is not flat and it is spherical in nature, they will say, "Hey, that guy actually spent a lot of time trying to tell people why it's a sphere, and he was actually saying things that are empirically correct." So,
Yeah. Man.
but hey, it's been a good show, man. I think we're probably dropping off viewers and my sanity at this point. But yeah, you got me. I tried to tell people for years, Mark and Patty are shills. No matter if they're getting paid from an agency or not, they're shilling on the internet for a stupid meme that isn't true, and they do not allow people to come on and refute their untrue shit that they lead other people on to believe. And some people do not like that. Okay, so then you get trolls, and it's not always Timmy Osmond. So just keep that in mind that there are people that take offense to your echo chamber. Not only that, to that you just completely, just completely tell people lies and tell them something that is so false. It's beyond ridiculous that we're to this point that people are still believing this. I have hope. I have hope for humanity, but you know what? The people that are supposedly spitting truth are on the most part, liars due to their ignorance and their incredulity and their conspiratorial bias that they want to hold on to so dearly. They want to hold on to an idea that was pitched to them by probable shills, if not for sure shills, and they want to continue as if, well, they're trying to hide the truth. They wanted to, control the meme or whatever. No, you guys have been played, okay? So take the conservative flat earth approach, or continue to chase your tail in fool's toil till you're old and gray and you're a curmudgeon in your shack or your shed yelling at people on Google Hangouts 3.0. So, again, this has been a public service announcement by Timothy Osman.
Hey,
Thanks for having me
wait.
on, brother.
Hey, hold on just a second. For me to round it up on my side, it's like, basically, I used to remember when flat Earth was a possibility and not a 100% proven thing, and something that will be made money off of, and something that will inspire apps and hookups and all this weird stuff and drama and attention and insanity. You're right about a lot of stuff that you say. It's been great having you on here, man. Thank you very much for speaking your side of this entire saga. The drama that your perspective and my perspective and others' perspectives can create when we come together can be something very, very interesting. And a lot of people out in this, it's been a who's fucking who in the fucking chat. It's been a fucking who's who, and this has been very interesting, and it's been a great honor to have you on here. So thanks again, man.
Nice, absolutely. We'll do it again, and hopefully someday we'll be able to talk about real issues and real subjects. And like I said, the drama is fun. I don't know what I would do without the actual real drama outlet called the Flat Earth. Um, but I want people to understand that I'm trying to pitch that it should be either a philosophical approach or just not such an absolute militant behavior towards the government and towards NASA and stuff like that. Like, if you want to believe that they're faking everything, then that's fine. You believe that thousands and thousands of videos and imagery is fake, so that you can live on a flat Earth or whatever. I mean, that's totally fine. But I think that you guys will someday realize that this has been a really, really foolish endeavor. And
Are there
go ahead.
are there any particular other top names or recognized names that you either want to shout out or that you maybe want to call out for anything real quick right before we end it? Just to give you a fair
Yeah.
platform.
If you are interested, and I say this just mostly for the, well, let me say this. I would recommend Jay Dyer, Jaydyer. He's huge into philosophy, um, satire. He's kind of funny. He's definitely into false flags. He's one of the people that I think is probably one of the most objective truthers on YouTube. He puts out free content, and he's got, books. He did a book about Hollywood symbols, and it was absolutely excellent. He breaks down things in a fashion that nobody comes even close to in this arena. So, and the part is that he's on the conspiracy level too. That's part of being a conspiracy theorist, is you got to kind of litmus test people. Oh, you don't believe that 9/11 could be an inside job? Well, you're a fucking idiot, So this guy is in the crowd. He's a smart dude, and I would like people to be to go over there, learn philosophy, learn a more objective approach at what I think is a more promising tomorrow, I suppose. So, thanks, brother.
Okay, it's been good having you. I'll put that link in there. I'll put the link to you want the link to this red channel, or do you want the link to Timothy Ossman live put on this description?
Just put Jay Dyer. I
You
don't
don't
want any
want
trolls over.
okay,
I'm
all
good.
right, fine.
Yeah.
All right,
Later,
man.
man.
Later. Okay, disclaimer. I was gonna have Vlad the Globe Impaler, Vlad the Veggie Impaler on here, but it got too intense with the guest. My next show, I will aim to invite him and feature him as my next guest. So big apologies to Vlad if you're out there listening. Sorry. I miss took my situation at the moment. But anyways, another disclaimer. That wasn't a disclaimer. The real disclaimer is this: the views of Timothy Ossman, do not reflect Validation Boy's channel. Necessarily reflect Validation Boy, live stream. So we've been joined by Angel Raven 444. Always good to have you. Psychedelic Christian, Project Eli, Max Malone, the icon, the legend, one of the OGs, and all y'all fucking show your respect for Max Malone. Okay, we got OJ McBaggins, we got Cigar Face TV, we got Infinite Plane Society, we got JJ, we got Multi Tom Tom, we got Lee Harvey Hitler, we got Vlad the Veggie Impaler. He says, "I'm talking impaling veggies now." So maybe, is he live? All right, if he's live, go over there. We got Salomon, Angel Raven. We got Negator. We got Shed Rager. We had Patricia Steere in here earlier. Schluminger. We had HSP Gang. We had Martin Liedke in here earlier, I believe. Kristen Wolf, The Knock. We have, wow, this goes way back. Oh, geez. Who knows? We got Andres. We got Emma Leishman. We got Nathan Oakley, 1980. Bob Marley. Flat Earth Regret. We had Flat Earth Reset 3 in here trolling me. Maybe he'll make an expose on me saying that I sold out to the potatoes. When in reality, everybody looks fucking suspicious right now. I mean, really, even Flat Earth Reset looks fucking suspicious. Flat Earth Reset says we've heard all Timmy has to say. He's got nothing new to say. Well, I don't think that's true. I think Timothy's brain can be picked. I think tonight was a good discussion. Got Jonathan Doherty. He says, I have to leave. This isn't for me. Piece of the flatties. Nathan Oakley says, got to pay the bills, as Dan Pratt says. See, this is just mad shit talk. Max Malone said, Satan is proved by the existence of this chat room. He said, this chat proves Satan. Jeez, man. It's brutal, but you know, he's talking about the people. I let the people run free up in here. People expose themselves. People have to hang hard with themselves in VB live stream. This is the most dynamic live chat in the entire Truth or YouTube, Flat Earth YouTube scene, basically. Zero wrenches, always zero wrenches. Never had a wrench, never will. I'm the king. Nothing is taboo. Flat Earth bastard. You know, Kenny Martin. Man. Flat Earth Reset 3 says, VB, take care. Thanks for showing me who you really are. I had my doubts about you and I was right. Chill. I guess, man. It's all good. It doesn't really matter. I'm just here. I'm just a fucking Flat Earth dogmatist who analyzes social behaviors. And I pretty much say that me and Flat Earth Reset pretty much have to be on the same side, you know? And I'm also on the same side with Dan Pratt. Now, does that make Dan Pratt be on the same side with Flat Earth Reset 3? According to the drama I see in their two shows, not really much so. But the thing is that, you know, Fuckstick Court's in here, Project Eli. You know, thing is, that shit doesn't matter. None of it fucking matters. None of us should really assume that there's no way the other guy couldn't be a shill or could be a shill. You know, it's all fair game. Just like Dan Pratt always said, you know, and always says, don't trust me, you know, and I don't expect anybody to. I'm just out here analyzing social behaviors, analyzing social media around the topic of Flat Earth. And I personally believe dogmatically and spiritually that the Creator blessed us and gave us a realm that is possibly a flat Earth. Possibly. And if it's a geocentric realm, well, then it still has to be from the Creator either way. This is a spiritual thing. I do believe in the Creator. I want to, you know, give all my praise to the Creator on a daily basis, as all of you should. Thank the Creator for your blessings. Realize that God gave you this, and now you have your blessings. They are there. Okay? And that there is an afterlife, people. You got to be good. So come on. You know, Validation Boy live stream is all about freedom. Freedom. No wrenches here as well, says Fuckstick Court. That's right. There's a channel that says, I am Ralph Joe Real. Bumper stickers available. Come on. Joking around. And Lori Gales joined us, and everybody, Cigar Face says, light it up and smoke it. Yep. Okay. So the time has come for me to eat fucking food and exit this show. Disclaimer, the views of Timothy Ossman, once again, do not necessarily reflect the views of Validation Boy live stream. And this is an objective platform and no wrenches. So do you guys get the fucking theme? I will fight for the small guy. Nobody is beyond fucking accusations. But at the same time, evidence has to be shown for this, that, and the other. Because how would you feel if it was done to you? You know, I've accused people falsely. Flat Earth Reset 3, I've accused people falsely in the past and had to bite my fucking tongue. I've been proven wrong. Had to delete videos and shit because I was literally proven wrong with visual evidence and everything. Oh, you're fucking wrong, dumbass. Oh shit, you're right. Sorry about that. Delete the video. It's happened to me. Okay, so it's just wisdom. I've been here a long time dealing with people. Okay, so go back and watch Flat Earth Frustration, my first ever speaking video. Okay, and much love to you, Flat Earth Reset 3. I love everything you do. And, you know, if you want to attack me, that's cool. I'll be entertained by it. But nothing but love to you. And OJ McBaggins, you are the fucking man. Best chat on the internet right here, says OJ McBaggins. Thank you so, so much. Time for fucking normal people activities, guys. Flat Still Earth says, wrenches are for the weak. Flat Still Earth says, wrenches are for the weak. Yeah. HSP gang. All right. Angel Raven. Awesome. Once again, this is fucking Validation Boy, you know, letting it all fucking fly, letting it all hang out, you know, being here as a vent for everybody, for the who's who of this community. You know, this is a dark corner, a very deep, dark corner. Tonight, we broke a record in attendance, reaching near 80. You know, Andres was hoping for 100. I don't think it would ever happen, but we were at 80. No, we were at 7. We were in the 70s at some point, high 70s. Personal record. Awesome. Oh man. Project Eli says, thanks, Validation Boy. I'm so glad you chose boy and not dude. VD would be bad. VD is always bad. All right, guys. We all got hashtag we all been data mined. Oh, this video is not meant to slander any brand names or anybody out there. You know, this is all mere speculation. This is not done in the name of cruelty or to shut people's incomes down or castrate anybody's fucking income or anything of that nature. This is merely a critical analysis show of behaviors of people that are, you know, loosely related to a particular arena, a particular topic that exists on YouTube, a certain region called the Flat Earth. So this is all merely critical fucking media analysis and nothing more than critical public media analysis of the activities of social media users who are public users. And thank you guys all for fucking joining me and making this a personal fucking best. And thanks especially to Tim Ossman. Look at that, guys. Tim Ossman has a lot of stuff to say. A lot of you fuckers are just scared. A lot of people are fucking scared. Well, as always, fucking much love, much respect to the Flat Earth, the real Flat Earth community. You know, this has been Validation Boy live stream. October 23rd, 2017.